I know 2-6, but it made sense. You told me what was going on in your life, so I totally get it, my guy. You a busy, busy dude. Um, sorry, I got distracted. Jimmy sent me another one. He's like, "Look, there's a Bioshock TV show coming out." Jimmy, get on the goddamn podcast. Okay, let me get Discord open, just so I can pull up our topics of conversation for today. Because man, you guys were just going off, and I loved it. There's lots to read today on that one. Okay. Anyway, radio 2-6. To answer your question, things have been okay. Work's work. So I'm not even gonna bitch about it because it's it is what it is. It's that's the life. That's the paycheck I receive. Um, but life in general is like okay. I mean, it's Christmas time, so just spending a lot of money, spending a lot of time, trying to stay sane. um, I don't know if you were there to see it or not, but I ended up getting an Xbox from one of our um, Discord members, so that was pretty fucking cool. So I've been enjoying the luxury of fast paced menus now, not loading screens that take forever. And then now I actually have to check out gosh, what is it? RimWorld. Thanks to Marie. I gotta see if I can find that on PlayStation or Xbox. Um, I finished the chicken challenge, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I got to 8 pieces, and then Mindful capped out. I played it for Cheyenne, and she was laughing. She was like, "Yeah, this is pretty good." She's like, if anyone was to fail, she's like, "You failed with class." By class, she meant pissing herself laughing. um, and she laughed at the beginning too, so I know I must have made some kind of stupid face, but that's for you guys to view later on. I should have it done pretty quickly. It took me about an hour to finish all 8 pieces, and like, oh, my guts were so full, like just so unbelievably full. Like I was in so much pain, and at the end, I kept laughing because I was trying to like explain how full I was, but like you know what I mean? When you're in so much pain, you just laugh. Like you can't help it, right? And then as I was laughing, it was hurting more. So that was great. And then the Discord got to know about my my bowel movements. I'll put it that way for the last 2 days after that, which were none. I was just scared. When like day 2 approached, I was like, "Oh my god, this is it. I'm never gonna be able to go again." I damaged my insides, but no, one cup of coffee and I was good to go. Thank goodness. Go mindful. um, yeah, and then I played a lot of Fallout 76. So yesterday I played Fallout 76 with Jimmy, which was fantastic. The only disappointing part was I don't know what the funk was going on. If Jimmy was just more quiet than normal, but sorry, my throat's like mad dry. Um, he wasn't coming through very clear, and it was really kind of annoying too. Like I would adjust the party chat settings, so like it was barely any game audio and all Jimmy, and like Cheyenne or whoever else who come into chat and make a comment going, "Hey, Jimmy's still really quiet." And like I would go back to check on it, and like the slider moved back to its original position. I was like, "What the fuck is going on here, PS4? Like, fucking get it together, buddy." So I don't know. It seemed to be like it didn't do that issue anymore as we got further into the nights, but yeah, apparently it still wasn't very loud for Jimmy's headset. I guess. Yeah, I don't know what really happened, but Fallout 76. So I played it on Friday. Um, really good. I did enjoy it. Like I said, okay, it's really good when you get into the action part of it all. But the first 5 levels and the majority of that world is kind of bullshit. So, JW was laughing so hard, and like I get it now. I get what they were going for. At the beginning, we both thought the same thing. Me and him, we thought that um, it was just really buggy and just really shit, and it was just like, sorry, we saw, that maybe it was the game itself. Holy moly, what's going on in my lungs right now? Okay. Woo! Mindful, get it together. But yeah, we thought that it was just so buggy that that's why I felt so overpowered. Like, I'm not bullshitting you. There was parts in that game where I went face to face with 5 super mutants with only a machete, and I came out fucking victorious. My health was barely dropping. Then you get to level 5, and it kind of makes sense what they were doing. So they obviously gave me some kind of buffer, or they coded something in the game. So from levels 1 to 5, you will be invincible. It's no problem. You will also level up quicker than you'll do any other level going forward, which makes sense, right? You're low level, you should level up quick, but it's like it's pretty fast pace. Even Jimmy said he felt the same way with it. But basically, after you get past level 5, then the game, I feel, switches to like normal mode or whatever difficulty it's supposed to be on, and everything gets instantly harder. Now that I've reached level 8, I've died at least like 9 times in the game, and it can be like it's a variety of reasons, right? Like I died a lot because I didn't have enough stem packs. I died a lot because I was running into the heat of battle, right? Like I've died a lot because I took on things that were just obviously beyond my power level, right? Like there was lots of different factors which were doing it. But the gameplay was becoming a lot more fair. And the minute that shift happened, I think I was starting to enjoy the game. I was like, okay, I'm dying. There's a challenge now in the game. Levels 1 to 5, there's no challenge. You're just kind of getting used to the game, which I have to give them props, I guess, because that is a good way to invite new players into your game. You know what I mean? I wish Fallout 76 would explain these things. I think that's where they really drop the ball. They don't really tell you what the game is doing, right? They kind of throw you into the world. Here's your shit. Good luck. Where they could have said, hey, for the next 5 levels, right, we're going to let you kind of enjoy your settings or whatever kind of terminology they wanted to use, right? There's a way they could have done it that was better than how they actually ended up handling that situation. There was bugs. Well, not bugs, actually. There was glitches in the game. So there were parts where I fell through, some kind of building or whatever the case was. There were parts where a bad guy wasn't even responding, and I was literally right in front of him. You know what I mean? So there were little Bethesda charms. um, th- the one thing that didn't change in the game though was there were moments where I would go and travel and probably go for about a good 20, 15, 20 minutes. I'll say that. And there was nothing I interacted with. I was even saying to chat, like even if they would have gave me like foxes, squirrels, little rabbits, something just to run across the screen, that would have been good enough. We know Skyrim does this. We know Far Cry does that as well, right? Like most open world games, there's always it's like an alive world, right? Like it's as if you went outside yourself. Like there's things going on. Actually, I will say kudos to Skyrim. If you ever get the chance, there are certain like logs or like trees that have fallen down, and if you ever look closely enough at them, you can actually see ants. Um, trailing across them, which is incredible detail. But that's what I mean, right? Like it's making that world come to life. And how do you do that? Like, what do you need to put into that world to accomplish that, right? So, yeah, Fallout could have done a better job. And I get it; it's post-apocalypse, so what could you possibly do? Fuck it, put some more bloated flies in there or whatever the hell they are. You know, throw in a few more ghouls. Have me look down. Um, what do you call it? A strip of land and see simoons ahead, right? Like something, do something with it. It was such a wasted opportunity. Even with Jimmy, we like it got better. It definitely got a lot better, and I was discovering locations that kind of felt more alive and stuff like that. But a small example is we went to this place called Deathclaw Island. Now, when I hear that term, I'm assuming like, holy crap, this is an island full of death claws. It was like a little shit rock, And on this little shit rock, there was one death claw. Mind you, it took a while for Jimmy to take him down, but he was also well beyond our level, the death claw. And he had a little crown on his head, which I found out means that he's a boss of that area, right? So of course it's gonna be a little more difficult. But again, it's like, why would you not have like 2 or even 3 death claws? Why not expand the island? Like, you give us a badass name like that. It is a creature that has huge height. Whoa! Oh my god, these two. That scared the fuck out of me. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I went cold blood there for 2 seconds. Bowser, what did you do? And he sneezes as you walk away. He always tries to play with Bella, and Bella's like, I don't want this shit right now. But I have noticed she's played with him now a few times. Like, they don't fight like on purpose, but they do get into a tiff here and there. Sorry, while I was saying all this, I was actually just grabbing my puffer. Bowser saw a ghost. No, Bowser just saw Bella. Bella wasn't gonna have it. It's so funny, like, sorry to get off topic, but we would we'd watch, right, Bowser and Bella, like, they'd have their little fight, and then Bella gives him like this fucking stink face, right? And then I'll call her, be like, hey Bella, and she'll look at me and she'll be like, just all like doughy eyed again. It's like, oh, you little shithead. You know how to play the game. I see it, Bella. I see it. Bowser, don't try to go for round 2, okay? You're gonna get your ass whooped. You guys can take my puffer fast. Okay, before I thank Shannon, I'm just gonna take a peeky poo because every time I don't have Twitch on, I can't see who actually did the sub. I usually always say it wrong. But yeah, so that's my cats. Okay, where's the goddamn live button here? There we go. See all activity. Oh, it was Shannon. Okay, no, no, because like one time, because when it's on restream, I can't see who does it. Right? It just pops up like the chat would normally pop up. So like sometimes I thank someone, and it was Marie that did it, or I thank someone who was Cheyenne that did it. I was like, okay, from now on, I'm just gonna look at chat. Not like anyone ever gets offended, right? It's just funny. But yeah, so that's the 2 kitties. Back to Fallout. So yeah, that was my major like gripe with the game. It's just like, the level up system, okay, made sense. Take that one away. The Yeah, I guess it was really just that. The empty world feeling, that one kind of didn't change a lot, but fast forward to Monday, when I played with Jimmy, that made the world of a difference. Now, bless that man's soul, he went ahead and spent like $13 and got Fallout first so that we could have our own private world as well, so we didn't have to play with other people. Yeah, he knows me. um, but like playing with him in that game, um, definitely made it more fun. It's not just because it was Jimmy, right? But if it's anyone, if it was Marie, if it was Shannon, it was whoever, right? I would play that game with. It felt more alive with that second person. Even when there was long patches of no enemies or whatever the case was, it didn't feel as empty, right? Because you had someone to talk to. You both were kind of like shooting ideas back and forth because like it's Fallout 76, so you could build your own base. I still have to check. I don't know if Jimmy's accurate on this one. I don't know if he was just flexing on me. But apparently you can own a vault, which is pretty fucking awesome if that is true. But again, I didn't see this vault, so I don't know, Jimmy. No, I'm just teasing. But yeah, if that is true, like that's pretty fucking dope. You can make multiple bases, so we would go back to his base, take a peek around, see what he has, repair weapons, etc., etc. If we were, as we get more time invested in there, then I could help him like build walls, and we could actually make like a pretty nice base. I showed him my shitty base, which was basically 4 like platforms and a wall because I ran into building materials. I was like, "Yep, that's my base." I just sat it down here and hope for the best. um, Oh, 26, you're confirming? Yeah, I have a vault when we play together. I'll have to show you. Oh, okay, sick, my dude. I thought you played 76, but I wasn't sure. Yeah, yeah. Oh, fuck. I'm such an idiot. That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You tried it like a few months back. I forgot about that. Yeah, okay. I'll have to see your world then too. That's awesome. Like it is a good game. I will give it credit for that. You know what I mean? Like, um, when JW is on there, he really like helped open my eyes because he was kind of shouting out what it was like when it first got launched, and then I was kind of giving my opinion on what it is now, right? And yeah, it's come a long way. Like there is a lot of work on there. Do I think they should have charged 12 or 17.99 Canadian for fucking Fallout first? Hell no. Hell fucking no. You launched a bad game just the same way Cyberpunk did. Any additions you're adding to that game should have been free. It should have been, hey, thanks for sticking around while the game was shit. Now it's a little bit better. Here's your reward for it. Totally disagree that they did that. I think the Atom Shop alone was enough of a money bag for them to get things. Like I'm looking in there and I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind buying that or this or whatever. So there is money to be made in there. They didn't need to make a subscription service. Thankfully, they didn't do that for the entire game. Like you can play the game, like I was just saying, but having that subscription, right, benefits you in little ways, such as playing alone, or I think with your base too, you get a whole bunch of little additional, even with the game itself, right? You get some extra skins and shit like that. So like there is little rewards, but still, it's not worth it. Like why Bethesda? Why? um, yeah. But if you want to play it at the free level, or the base level, so if you have PlayStation Plus, you get it for free. If you have Game Pass, you get it for free. Highly recommend it. If you are on either of those and you just want to play with someone, like I'm down. I don't give a shit. I'll make another character on Xbox and I'll play with you. It's definitely worth experiencing, especially if you love Fallout. Jimmy's comment, I think, said it the best. He didn't like Fallout for a really long time, and he just kept hearing me talk about Fallout 4, which is still so much better. Like, if you want a good Fallout experience, I highly recommend Fallout 4 or Fallout 76. But if you want to play with friends, it's a great experience to do Fallout 76. But anyway, um, he like he went to that world and he played I guess, no, not 5 hours, sorry. I think he played around 3 hours, and he was like, I actually like Fallout now. He's like, I get it. I get the whole idea behind it. He's like, the base building doesn't scare me anymore. And I was like, yeah, my dude, like that's what I meant. Like they added cool features with Fallout 4 and 76, right? Base building and all that kind of stuff, but it's not a key mechanic. It's not something you need to focus on. You could go in that world, just fuck shit up, and be the Lone Ranger that, whatever. Or no, it's not the Lone Ranger, it's the Lone Wanderer. Yeah. Hi, Silver. um, but yeah, you can be that lone wanderer and just fucking, go to town, like just fucking wipe out an entire village and just live there. You know what I mean? Like do what you want to do. It is a very cool Bethesda take with guns and bazookas. Like I said, when you're tired of that Elder Scrolls world, this is a nice little world to hop into. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think Fallout 76 did a good job. I'm disappointed that after 5 years, the game still feels empty. That I think that's a huge F on their side, and I think it's a huge F that they have a subscription service. So those are two things. Like I think if they were to change that, which they're probably not going to change Fallout first. Let's face it. That's the way it's going to be. After 5 years, if they still haven't figured out how to make that world more alive, it's probably not going to happen, right? But if you happen to be listening, change those two things, and I think that game would do so much better. I think it would honestly attract more new players, basically. Um, Other than that, my life's been pretty fucking boring. I played some golf. I went back into two old games, and I've been fucking, not even gonna lie, I've been big dick energy in them. Like I've been fucking flopping the balls down, and like I got it. I am fucking the king right now in those games. So the first one was Fortnite. I don't know what it was. Like I just got the Xbox, hooked it up, right? Was gonna play a game. I was like, ah, fuck, let's play some Fortnite. I haven't played it in a while, and I feel like I got first place because I didn't. The highest thing I got was second place. But I usually do. I don't do squads. I don't do trios. None of that bullshit. It's just straight up solo. Um, yes, I got second place. I got like fifth place. I got then 23rd and 43. Like there's some shit rounds. So I'm not gonna flex. But I had a few like two, eighth, and then I think another one I got was third place. And like I was fucking like dominating at some points. Like, oh, my gun skills got so good. I was so happy. Like it was just the best I've ever done in Fortnite. It was for like a good 3 days straight. I was like, fuck yeah, I got it back, baby. I also fought them on both build mode and zero build, which I like zero build because I'm not that kind of person. I won't build walls. But in the same breath, it feels weird not having, people build stuff in Fortnite. Like I feel that's its whole gimmick. I like it. I like not worrying about the builds, but yeah, it also feels like the game's missing something when you don't have that on. So I don't know, it goes both ways. I guess maybe I'll get more used to it the more I play. But yeah, it was so fucking good. Like I think in one match I had like 10 kills, which is not like me. My max is usually in any FPS 1 to 2 kills. Like that's the most I'll ever get. And I was like fucking like, yeah, baby, shotgun to the face, shotgun to the face. It was just a good time. And then the other one that I was rocking was Vampire Survivors. I got back into that one again. Fuck, I missed that game. That game is so unbelievably addictive. And I wasn't doing anything special in the game. I just kind of like looked at my levels. I saw I was missing a few relics. I went to grab those, and then I just basically played for whatever it was, 4 days, 5 days, um, like 30-minute matches here and there of the Green Acres, I think the level's called, and I had to do it with the garlic guy. Because I want to check all him off, like all of his all of his levels off. So when you get, I think it's 30 minutes into the level and death appears, you get a little check mark saying you basically complete that level. Means nothing. Like it really doesn't do much. I mean, you might get achievement for some of them, but it really doesn't do anything special. I'll eventually do it for all the characters because OCD, I have to. But yeah, like oh, that game is just so fucking good. And there's DLC for it too that I forgot about. So, and that one's only like $2. So I'll probably purchase that. I definitely still want to get it for the Switch as well. Like it's one of those games where I'm sure I will have on like every console possible. Even my phone probably at one point if I'm able to enjoy it on there. Probably not though. I don't think I could play it well on the phone. But I will get it for every console. It's just it's stupid. It's just a stupid time sink, but it's so much fun. I don't know. It's fuck that game. I love it. Also, I don't know why people criticize the garlic guy so much. The garlic guy is awesome. Garlic is a great ability. I always like to combine garlic with the holy Bibles. So garlic basically, when you come into his radius, he just deals damage to you, right? So even if it's like 10 damage or 15 damage, right, just nonstop dealing that because you're in that circle. The holy books circle around you, and as an enemy hits them, they kind of like almost like a bumper car, like it just kind of bounces off that book, right? Um, Garlic, you can increase the range. So picture a little black circle around you, and then that black circle is growing bigger and bigger. That's what the garlic ability looks like. And the Holy Bibles, you just keep accumulating one more Bible every time. So I think at the end it's like 5 or 6 Bibles circling around you. And then the cool part with the game is you get the ability to upgrade those weapons. So I can turn my little garlic, death ring into like I think it's called Soul Eater. And that's when it's like a pure black mass just circling around you. Um, I like Soul Eater. Like I like when it transforms, but in the same breath too, I feel like you're stuck. I don't know. Maybe as I progress in the game, because I beat most of it. I feel like, but there must be some more I'm still missing out on. I just feel like Soul Eater level 1 doesn't do a lot of damage. It's not. I don't know. It's not that great. Um, and then the upgrade for the Holy Bibles is they basically go from blue to red, and then that fucking shit is just going so fast around you. Like nothing has a chance to even get to you. I love it. And then I added on, I think it's called, I can't remember the name of it, but it's basically like a little shield. So normally if something hits you, right, your character goes, ow, and it takes some damage. But with the shield, it absorbs some of that impact. So it doesn't, nothing really like bothers you. And then as the shield slowly starts to deplete, right, then you finally go, ow, 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 right, you start taking damage. But you can upgrade the shield to the point where something can stand beside you for almost like 30 to 40 seconds and it's still not affecting you. And by that point, Garlic and the Bibles have already wiped out that bad guy or whatever that's trying to kill me. So yeah, amazing combo those three together, I think. I know a lot of people like the lightning ring. I personally don't find it a big use. I think the lightning ring is kind of weak sauce, to be real with you. I would rather use the axe or the whip than the goddamn lightning ring. I don't know. Maybe in that game, for my point of view at least, is I like to have anything that's like close to me. I don't like weapons um that attack from far away, right? I prefer like for everything to come close to me and me to kill it instantly almost. Because this way, all the gems, like I literally just sometimes put my controller down, and if my character is powerful enough, I'll just let him stand there, and like they just pour in, level up, pour in, level up. I don't know. It's boring, but it's fun. Same breath. And I played a lot of Bioshock still. So sadly, I can't stream it, right? Because they don't let you stream the Bioshock collection. But for those that are interested, I am still powering through it. Oh, no worries, 2-6. You have an excellent night, my dude. And yeah, once again, buddy, congratulations. I'm so happy that you're in college and you're pushing towards your future career. I hope it all goes well for you. And I look forward to Friday if you're still down to play some Apex. Hell yeah. Um Yeah, so BioShock, yeah, it's I've already beat the first one, but like just going back into it, and it's funny, like I'm literally playing it the same way I played it the first time around, where like I already know what's gonna happen, right? So most time I don't even have sound on, like maybe Cheyenne's doing something, like I'll just let her do her own thing, and I'll just play BioShock in peace and quiet. Yeah, buddy, always down for Apex. All right, bud. Well, I'll hit you up Friday then. We'll see if you're able to hop on with me during those times. You have a great night though. Um, yeah, so I just been playing BioShock like any chance I can get basically. And it's just that world. Oh, I don't even need the story. I don't even need like sounds. I mean they help obviously. But like I could just honestly just explore that world and have the best time of my life. Like I love it. I love it all. It was such a great underground, like what do you want to call that, plaza, whatever they made city, I guess it actually is. It's supposed to be. Even though it doesn't seem like you go that far around Rapture. I wish you could explore all of Rapture that they show you when it's like when they're first going down in that elevator thing, and you get to see the entire city. You know what I mean? Like I wish you could explore all that. Because I feel like there's so much more to Rapture than what you actually get to see. But yeah, Bioshock, just fantastic game. If you haven't played it, like by God, please play it. I'm excited to play number 2, and then finally say I played all 3 of them, so that'll be good. Still playing Bejeweled on my phone. It's become my new addiction for my phone games. Kind of have a hankering though to play Arithmic, I think it was called. I used to play on the Chromebook for my YouTube streams, but I haven't in a while since I got the PlayStation. Not that I'm complaining. I'd much rather play a PlayStation game than a phone game, but um, yeah, Wednesday we did the Skyrim stream, which was okay. Skyrim was Skyrim. I'm still loving it. It's still fun and everything, but um, I didn't really do anything special this time around. So there's really no quest to brag about. Yeah, I was trying to think. I know I fought a dragon at the very beginning, but I think that was pretty much the highlight, in all honesty. But I've said it a million and one times, and I will say it a million and one more. The community on Skyrim for YouTube is fantastic. Like the Z Chicks of the world, the Jangos of the world, the Spiders of the world. Anyone who plays Skyrim and streams it already on Twitch, please, 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 I highly recommend trying it on YouTube. Fire out a few streams on YouTube when you get the opportunity, or switch it up that night. Instead of Twitch, try YouTube out, because there is a really cool community, and I've been slowly building the Discord. With those Skyrim players. In fact, I had one guy today kind of hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, if you like Skyrim, here's 7 games that I wrote down for you that I think would be a lot of fun to play if you're interested." I was like, "Hell yeah, man! Like, fuck! Anytime you want to talk about video games or give me game suggestions, I'll gladly hop into that." But yeah, I think there's a lot of benefit to get from streaming on YouTube for that one. Sorry, this was bothering me. As soon as I forget to max it out, there we go. But yeah, I think that pretty much takes care of everything I done. I was trying to think if I watched any TV shows. Oh, I did actually. Sorry, I watched one last thing. I ended up watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So I have seen like episodes here and there, nothing like major. I get a lot of things I know from It's Sunny in Philadelphia is honestly from like YouTube Shorts or like gifs that people put out. But I finally sat down. I'm finally starting to watch it. It's season 1. Whoo! Season 1 really pushes the envelope. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I was like, buddy, if this like I don't know how old it is, but I feel like it came out like this year or last year. It was like, buddy, you be in cancel culture so quickly. Like that first season is whoo, it's good. It makes me laugh like all the time. But yeah, it definitely pushes that envelope. Um, like, uh, I know there's certain things I can't say, like certain words I can't say on Twitch. But the last one I watched, was they thought Charlie got, let's say, touched by his gym teacher, and then these two brothers were trying to frame the gym teacher for it. And it was like this huge flashback of like Charlie drinking one day. He's like, "Yeah, man, we should do this. We could totally get away with it and make tons of money." It was just such a bad episode. But it's funny because like the other two that are with the bar with him, right? They actually thought it really happened, and they were trying to use their psychology, right, to like help him out, and they had like interventions and stuff. Like it was so fucking ridiculous. It just became this huge goddamn train wreck, and I was like, I love this show. I'm really excited to get further into it. Who is it? Is it? Oh, I want to say Danny DeVito, but maybe I'm wrong. Is it? Is it Danny DeVito? I can't remember that little dude now. Um, but I can't wait till he pops up for the show. um, Fall of House of Usher. No, 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 no. I haven't watched that one yet. I have to get on that. I have to get on that train. See, I'm the worst. Like I will sit there and I will fucking watch Family Guy and American Dad and all that other bullshit, and then it'll be that one like night of the week where Shannon will be like, you know what? Let's just hover over this channel and watch this thing tonight. And then that becomes like our obsession, or we drop it off. Fish last night was so good. Ooh. I know Marie too shouted out that one as well to watch. I definitely have to watch it though. Like I said, I love the Haunted series, and thank you again, Marie, for letting me know that those other two programs were from the same what do you call it? Same actors and actresses. I don't know what you want to call that series. Yeah, can't wait to watch that one. Probably my favorite show this year. But yeah, it's really good. It's sunny in Philadelphia. I was very surprised, I guess, how much I actually enjoyed it. Because I don't know, when I get to sitcoms, I never know if it's gonna be a hit or a miss, right? Because some of them are just like they're funny, they have their moments, right? But it's not like nonstop funny. Where I felt like this one was. So yeah, that was good. Yeah, I don't think there's any movies I watched. So basically, tonight's topic was I kind of branched it out and had multiple topics of choice. So I'll give you an idea here. Oh my god, I didn't scroll up high enough. I don't think. Okay, there we go. So yeah, so the first one I had was for video game wise, and then we're gonna have a life topic one. So for video game wise, um, hey, um, yeah, what company would you like to see to make the next generation's consoles? So, for example, like we know we have the big heavy hitters, right? We have Sony, we have Nintendo, we have Microsoft, right? Back in the day, we also had Sega, we had Atari, right? We have seen Steam release the Steam Deck. Wow, I can't believe I brain farted there. Um, we've also had what was that Amazon one? I can't remember the name, and now that's how fucking shitty that thing did. I know we've had a few others. There was a Jaguar, right, way back in the day. So yeah, I guess my question, to everyone is like, what would you like to see? And it's not just even like big ass companies, right, making it. It could just even be a game developer that you feel really passionate about. Like, how would you feel if Rockstar made their own portable console or their next um, digital only console, right? Like, I mean, they might make a good one. Who knows, right? So I was curious in the community what they thought, um, what they would hope for. And then the other one we had was basically just a very simple question. What does it take to be a good person? I've been thinking about this question a lot in my life. I don't think I am a good person, right? I think there's lots of things I could work on to be completely clear. Um, but I like to think of that, I guess that phrase sometimes, and see if there are better ways to approach my day to day problems, right? So, for example, it might be what's that? Yeah, it's for you. So it might be something as simple as just listening more, or not reacting right away. I when I think of this stuff, I kind of phrase it more for work, right? Because sometimes I just my boss might say a bunch of stuff to me, right? And it's like, fuck, and then I'll go to the team and I was like, "Yeah, guys, I told you we have to do it this way, right?" So sometimes just handling yourself better in those situations and not reacting right away, right? Um, Even like little things, like maybe I'll have like a really shitty day and then I bring that shitty day home, right? So it's changing those little concepts. So um yeah, so I just like I said, I think about this stuff a lot, and I'm not saying I'm good or perfect at it or anything like that, but it's a very interesting, I guess, idea of what everyone views a good person as, right? So that's my way of trying to become a better person or a good person. And then in chat, right, we had a whole bunch of people on the Discord, sorry, um, kind of talk about what they thought a good person was. So I'm just gonna go ahead and read a few of these out, but by all means, yeah, right. It's just a little thing to think about every day. Not saying you hound yourself and beat yourself up all the time. Um, yeah, it is a very big question, and like I said, it's gonna be different for every single person. Um, I guess like if I was to put it like in a broad sense of term, to me a good person is just somebody that breaks their mold every single day. So you know what I mean? It's very easy to stay in a routine. It's very easy to just remain in that rut or whatever terminology you want to use, right? Um, but to be a good person, right, you have to be able to change. You have to be able to not only change yourself, change your surroundings, change your environment, change anything possible, right, to help you achieve that next level. And I think if you're doing that and you're doing it to the best of your abilities, to me, you are a good person. Because let's face it, you're a human being. Human beings fuck up all the time. You know what I mean? There's nobody in the world that hasn't made some kind of mistake, and it doesn't mean that mistake, is gonna land you in jail, like something extreme, right? A mistake could be just something as simple as you said a swear, right? You didn't mean to swear at that person, or maybe you I don't know, maybe just like you pocketed an item and you did, you know what I mean? Like I'm giving obviously extreme examples here, but there are minor things that people do, right? Telling a little white lie because you didn't want to hurt someone's feelings, right? There's lots of things that we do because we're human, right? So yeah, I think as long as someone's trying and they're making attempts to change the course of life that they're on, then to me that is a good person. But I'm going to give you guys a few examples. Um, and Marie and Shannon, if you have any, you're always more than welcome to shout them out too, for things that you think of. But Marie, speaking of which, she made a little comment just saying that we are all born with this inherent primal need to be a dick. You gotta mush that way deep, deep down, which I completely agree. I think we all, it's, I don't think it's like so much being a dick, right? But I think just sometimes we all have that little bit of sarcastic humor in us, right? And I completely agree with that. You know, like it's very natural. And actually Cheyenne and me have this conversation often, you know, like we love joking around, we love razzing each other, but in the same breath sometimes we get into that loophole where that's all we've done in the last day or two, right? And it's like, oh, you know, I'm sorry. Like I'm kind of being a dick actually. I didn't mean to do that. So that's something, there. That's something that I would like to change more often. I don't want to always be sarcastic, to make jokes and make someone laugh, right? Sometimes I have to be a little more serious or a little more understanding or sensitive, right, to the other person instead of just trying to joke around and have a good time, right? Um, Yeah, see, Maurice, she added an extra point on there that clarifies it, right? She says there's a distance between, there's a discern between comedic and hateful dickery, which is 100% true. And then we got the wise Duloc here. I love this guy. He's just like when I saw his picture, to me it didn't match the image I had in my head. I just pictured this ancient wise old man just spewing out amazing knowledge. I was like, oh, he's a young dude. But yeah, so Duloc, his was, I think that's a pretty good topic, but subjective one. However, I think universal sign of goodness in a person is the respect for common human decency. Very true. Someone who isn't adding to the suffering of the world. Very true. Who can pull themselves out of their own head enough to realize that other people are going through things they have no idea of, and maybe they don't need any more shit on the top of that. Long story short, consistently being a good person can be hard, which is very true. Like yeah, like I agree 100%. Right? We're all here. We're all going to be in the ground at one point, right? So why not make that journey as easy and as I don't know, as happy as possible, right? Like why shit on someone's parade when there's really no reason to do so? Sorry, Shannon, you added in, what was that? As Kendrick Lamar said, sit down and be humble. Amen. Oh, um, I was gonna say, I'm surprised you didn't shout out Post Malone. To me, a good person is someone who can think selflessly when it comes to certain decision making. Yeah, I agree. Consistently working on yourself and trying your best to take on other feelings into account when going going about things. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Like if you were to go, I know it's a very lame example, right? But if you were to go into the store and get yourself a box of wings or a Slurpee, and you're going home to your significant other or your friend that's there, whatever the case might be, right? Again, it's a lame example, but it's an idea of it, right? You might buy an extra Slurpee, or you might, split the wings with them to share with them, because obviously you're going to go home and you're going to have them all to yourself, and then you might make that person feel neglected, right, or not cared about. Again, a very lame example, just because like these are literally two things in front of me right now. Right, and I share Shay does the same thing for me too, right? Like I might have a really shitty day, and she'll go ahead and get me a Slurpee or some small little gift to say, hey, you know what, it's not as bad as it seemed today. And we try to do the same for her, and you can branch it out. I'm sure you've done that with coworkers and stuff like that, right? um but yeah, what I'm trying to say is, like, whatever actions you take, there are always going to be a repercussion for them, right? Or there will be a positive impact on them. So again, it was a very lame example, right? But just having that little reward at the end of the day for someone who had a difficult day, or maybe even just someone who just hasn't had a gift in a while, right? That's going to impact in a positive way. Like I was saying earlier with work, I could take a bad conversation with my boss and then explode onto my team. Um, because I feel like I got shit on, so I need to shit on them, or vice versa. I could have literally have drawn back from that and taken that information instead of shitting on them with it. I could have changed my words, or I could have helped them see the picture that my boss wanted, but also doing it a different approach that maybe he had taken, right? So that they don't feel like I'm like they suck at their jobs kind of thing, right? Because sometimes it can feel like that at work. It could feel like that in home life too, right? Like you got, how can I say this? Sometimes when you get like that same feedback all the time, like, oh, you haven't done enough of this, or you're not doing good enough for this, or in home life, right? Like you could be like, oh, you're being a bitch today, oh, you're being grumpy today, whatever the case is, right? When you hear that so often, right, it kind of makes you feel like, what's the point? Why am I trying this job? Why am I living in this place, right? Etc. Etc. So sometimes, just like I said, it's just changing um, that tone or that wording that you would use can really change it around. Sorry, Marie. Hope you have a good night too. Thank you. Yes, it was a very nice topic, and I appreciate all the things you added on. Yeah. So sorry. Yeah, actually, Marie had the last comment I had to add on to Dulocks, which was just empathy and grace, and an occasional friendly reality check that doesn't, if that doesn't work, 100%. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone else's. Yeah, okay, so it was Duloc and Marie that commented on that one. And then on the video game side of things, let's see here. We had Duloc again gave another little comment. Um, he was saying, "Oh, and on the other topic, I would love for someone to really knock it out of the park with an affordable handheld, something on par with how game changing the Game Boy was. I know Steam tried with the Steam Deck, but the thing costs an arm, which is true. That thing is massively expensive, but sorry, really need a Slurpee. Um, but in the same breath, the Steam Deck can do a lot. Um, talking to Peaswad in the Discord, talking to Pizza, who both were able to afford one. The Steam Deck is actually incredibly impressive. Like it's quite the piece of technology. Um, I mean, not only do you have access to the Steam library, um, but Pizza was like, explained to me, and I haven't seen it yet, so I would like to see like how it looks on his. But he can emulate pretty much any game at this point. From we're talking like I mean, obviously old school games, PS1 games, PS2, 3. I think he's at the point where it's PS4 now as well. Um, the only thing he can't do yet is Nintendo games, I believe. But I mean, if he wanted to, I'm sure there are ways around that, right? Where he could have access to those games. But yeah, like it's a pretty amazing deal. And you can play like I said, Xbox, PlayStation games, whatever the case is, all on one console. So it's not like you're switching, between consoles or setting up a different one to play this game. You have your full PS2 library at your access. You have your full, original Xbox library right at your fingertips. Like it's just I don't know. I'm very impressed with the Steam Deck. Even though with the high price point, I still think it's a relatively good deal. Like I mean, you get access to what over 10,000 games, maybe even more than that. Like, what? I mean, you think about all the games we had in our lifetime. Um, I think the Steam Deck dates all the way to the Sega Genesis, I want to say. But yeah. Um, oh, sorry, Shannon, you had one too here. You added on. I think that if it came out with something handheld that is affordable, the quality would be terrible and people would complain. Exactly. Fact of the matter is, technology is expensive to manufacture. We are running out of essential materials needed to create them. This sucks that we live in. Yeah. I don't want to touching things I'm not entirely confident on, but I know Shannon, you kind of explore um, TikTok and stuff like that. I think you said before you did. Maybe I'm wrong, but I know you're definitely on YouTube, so maybe you heard it on there as well. But I believe that Cheyenne was telling me that yeah, I can't remember if it was Cheyenne or someone else told me. But anyway, someone was telling me that they were doing child labor in like in the developing countries because they're harvesting this certain material that you need for every cell phone. So right now, people are trying to say like, don't get the newest cell phone if you don't have to, because this is going on behind, which I know is like true for anything, right? Like I mean, Nike shoes we knew for so long, right? It had child labor and stuff like that. But it is kind of sad to think that that they're they're stealing these kids or kidnapping them or whatever, and forcing them to work and harvest in these mines. This mineral that we need is that we need for our cell phones. I wish I knew what the mineral was, but yeah, I'm pretty sure China was telling me about this, which is crazy, just crazy to think about. So I'm saying, yeah, you're 100% right. Like the the parts and stuff that we need for these technologies are incredibly expensive, and some of them are just really hard to find. I think even was it the PlayStation 5, right? When that one came out, there was a certain piece it needed for that console, and it couldn't get it during COVID. So the price of the PS5s were high, and then on top of that, there was a low supply of them because of that. Is it aluminum? Maybe you're right. Maybe it is. Yeah, yeah. It's terrible, eh? Yeah. It's just it's sad. It really is. Hey GW.
How are you?
Oh, not too bad, buddy. How are you doing?
Good.
We were just kind of diving into the topics that we had there on the Discord. I was just slowly reading out everybody's that they had on here. Um,
Okay, nice.
yeah. Okay, sorry, we were at pizza now. Okay, so pizza's comment. Oh yeah, okay, so Pizza kind of dived into his own little topic he had for it. So he was saying, because I was bringing up the discussion about different topics that we could use for the Discord or for the Two Tired Dudes podcast, and what he suggested was maybe we could talk about which gaming characters that show quality traits and compassion. Um, I drew a brain fart when he was talking about Adam Jensen. I don't know who that one was.
You can. It's like an old colleague that you talk to that is like barring the way, and you can do the nice thing, pardon him for his mistakes in the past, and all all the good stuff, and make his life better. Or you can just be a horrible, manipulative person and make him feel even worse of his mistakes. And so it depends on your choices.
That's too funny. um, I agree with pizza. Like I usually do try to always take the higher ground, but there's sometimes like when you have options like that where you're like, I want to do like a quick save and just see how the other way would play out in this scenario. Or like if you can't, then I like to go back and like just to be like an asshole through all the choices. Which one was it? Mass Effect. I did that with. That was a lot of fun. Oh, hey, Sleepy. I couldn't tell there first. Like, whose photo is that one?
Hello, hello. Hi, Mindful.
There you are. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
How's your week been?
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
I told myself I was gonna take some time off streaming, but still end up streaming the day after. But it was a lot of fun. It definitely helped. It definitely helped my mood. Just been just been processing everything basically.
Yeah.
For those that didn't know, my grandma passed away last Sunday, so I was processing through that. But yeah, been a week now, which is crazy. But yeah, been helping my aunt with emotions through all that, supporting my aunt, my god aunt, and my god cousin with everything that they need help on. And yeah, got everything settled and just worked. Took a few days off to just focus on me. Went back to work yesterday, and I just got off of work now. So yeah,
I know.
that's
I was gonna say I kind of figured
basically.
you just needed some support. I saw you streaming. And sorry, Sleepy, did you ever end up making your link for your end or?
I've been trying, but I've just been so busy with everything else that's been happening lately.
Of course.
With Thanksgiving around the corner, like my job's been picking up. Thankfully, the blessing and the cursing. It's a blessing and a curse. Just like I'm tired. So it's just like I'll set up eventually. When I do, I'll post it in the Discord for sure.
Okay, yeah. I'd like to support that too for you.
Yeah, thank you. And we offered, my mom and I offered our house. Yeah, so far, besides that, everything's like been going pretty well actually. A lot of support from the rest of our family, the support from you and Jimmy and everyone that knew beforehand. So it definitely helped process everything a lot quicker. And definitely streaming the day after definitely helped me a lot, actually. Helped with my mentality. So I took a few days for myself. I tried to stream here and there. I tried streaming last night, but my Wi-Fi was acting all weird. It was kind of annoying. So I'm like, I'm just gonna stream another time.
Well, I'm glad
But besides that,
support.
I've been playing a lot more spooky games.
Oh, really?
A lot more ghost games.
Any ones in particular?
So a few times I played Phasmophobia. My friends that I played Phasmo with, he asked the ghost on the Ouija board, do you want to play hide and seek? And the ghost is like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're like, oh shit.
That's funny.
My friend and my other friends like, what do you mean hide? They're like, we're playing hide and seek. Hide, quiet. So it's just like, I play with Otto. All I hear is Otto just dying right next to me. I'm like, oh. I'm like, whoops, sorry. Someone has to be sacrificed. It's not me.
That's
but
funny.
it was fun. That I wish I clipped it, but it was so fun. It was so funny. Because the ghost didn't say yes. The ghost didn't say no. It's just like 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're like, oh shit.
Right into the game.
Run, hide. But yeah, it's, during that late night stream or like when I was playing Ghost Watchers, like, oh shit, what games should I play more? And everyone's like, games. I'm like, oh, you guys just hate me. You guys just hate me. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I might end up playing more games. What's those games?
I'm glad you like
I
it.
ranked up.
It's cool to see one. No, I said I'm glad you're enjoying them. That's cool that they have one similar to Plasmophobia.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than Phasmophobia, which is like okay, depends how you view it. But playing that, for my personal opinion, Phasmophobia is a lot more fun. But I hit my peak for Valorant last night, so I am now Silver 2, which is great. Just my peak was like Bronze 3, so I
Wow.
ranked up a lot.
Yeah, you did really
Yeah, that's very nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and the hard carries, all my a lot of my friends are like Diamond 3, Ascendant 2, and it was like, go on lower accounts to boost me. But yeah, I ranked up to Silver 2 last night, which I really wanted to catch it on stream, but my internet was just laggy for some reason, and it's like it made my head hurt. So I'm like, I'm not gonna put my viewers. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna rank up off the stream for now. And my next goal is try to hit Silver 3 on stream at least. So yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
How you guys doing?
Not too bad. I was just gonna say, Jenna just added on that she always chooses the dickish option. Dark Souls taught me always kill the NPC if you can in the end. They almost always drop gear, which is very true. That's a good choice, Shannon. But yeah, I don't know if you guys had any to shout out, but basically the two topics I had earlier was one, like if there's any company out there that you would like to see make the next console, like what would who would that be? What would it look like? Is it handheld, like Duloc was saying, or would it be just a normal console? I always like to shout out Sega, for example, but I honestly think now playing like the Yukaza games, that I'm happy that they're more focused just on games. They're not doing consoles. I feel that almost kind of benefited them in the long run. I don't know. I've always been a fan of Sega, but I feel like now that they're just focusing on games. I think the quality of their games have gotten a little better. I still like the Sonic games, so I mean that may be biased. And then the other one that I had earlier also too was just what does it take to be like a good person? Like what is a good person? And everyone's kind of given their own little definition. I think we're all kind of in the same bracket as far as what we view it as. You might have different words that we describe that as, but I think we pretty much all hit the same nail on the head as far as what we thought. Yeah, what's your guys's ideas?
Well, I mean, I'm pretty good with the PlayStation 5. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't. The PlayStation 5 hasn't caused me any trouble or anything, so there's no other really company or console I would like to see. I'm not much of a handheld guy, so I'm fine where I am. Maybe a new company that is able to make something that everything that we've seen out of the water would be an interesting break in, an interesting thing to shake things up.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was trying to think, like, like would it be nice to see like a big company make something? But then I thought like it was Amazon, right? That had that shitty one. It's so bad I can't remember the name of it anymore. Like that's how obsolete it became.
I don't
Oh,
know, what are you talking about, the Luna or
was it the Luna? I thought it was Amazon. Oh, what was that? No, Google. It was Google Stadia. That's what it was.
Google Stadia?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. Like that's how shit it was. Like I just couldn't even remember the console anymore or who made it.
But the thing is, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure consoles are Like, I think they're aiming to do streamings and subscription stuff, and to keep you in their hub, so to speak. So I'm not sure console will be the future.
Yeah,
I mean, at this point, I'll just buy a PC if console is not the future anymore. But
so true. Yeah, I know. Like, I like handhelds as well. Like I was talking with Shannon earlier. I get Dulac's point. Like, it would be nice to have like a cheap handheld of some sort. But like she was saying, and I agree with Shannon. Like if the cheaper you make that, like the less impressive it's gonna be, right? Like I think the Steam Deck,
oh yeah,
even though it costs a lot, I think the Steam Deck offers you a lot as well. Like you have a very huge selection in that library of games to choose from, and just what it's capable of doing, right? It's, I don't know, to me it seems pretty impressive from what I've heard from Peaswad and Pizza.
yeah, it sounds very cool. I keep wanting to have it, but I know I won't use it because I'm not much of a handheld guy. Like I
Yeah,
said.
no,
But it's so cool that like I would love to, I don't know, try it or something. But
yeah, like to me, like the
I
benefit
don't.
was like,
There's no.
sorry, DW, go ahead.
Sorry, what?
No, I said the
I was
benefit.
just gonna say there's no use for me to have that.
Yeah, it's like the benefit to me, like I was thinking of, is like it's nice not to have to like pull out, let's say, the PS2 if I want to play like an older game, like Pizza kind of described. Like to me, like okay, that's kind of cool, right? But I'm with you too. Like I like playing on the Switch, but like most of the time, yeah, it'll sit on the counter, right, and kind of sit there for a while, and I'd more likely probably play on the Xbox or the PlayStation 4 than I would to grab it.
Oh yeah, there's no games on this Switch.
Yeah. That's very true.
I mean, I loved playing on their Switch, but there's nothing to playing it on. Like I gave it to my best friend, and I don't regret it because I didn't. It was taking up dust.
Yeah, let someone else use it, eh? Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think I'd want to see another big company, like I was saying, if there was going to be another console to be made. I don't think they get the idea of it. Um, but it would be kind of neat, sorry, to see, like you said, maybe a newer company hop into the ring and offer something almost like how the Steam Deck was. Like the Steam Deck's kind of unique, right? As far as all the consoles that have come out in that timeline. Um,
Yeah, well, like PlayStation did like a while back, when it first came out, where it first arrived, it was a new company, new console.
yeah,
It would be fun to see something similar like this happen again.
but yeah, just I'm like, even trying to think of like because Sony, right? So I'm basing it like on like TVs or like technology like that. I'm like, who else would be available at this point to make something? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Um, sorry, Sleepy. What about you? Is there anyone you'd want to see make a console?
I don't know about making a console, but I think maybe it's just me being biased, but like I would like to see Riot, the company that makes League of Legends and Valorant, to like the idea of a console. I think that would be really cool with the like modern technology as well.
Okay.
Just to see what they can do. But like something that like old school console, I would really like to see the PSP come back. Honestly, like especially with the technology we have now, I would be very excited to see what they do with that if they ever remake the PSP. Because growing up, I really loved the PSP. I love playing like old school games on it. So it's just like I don't know. I feel like it would just bring definitely back like the nostalgia feeling, you know. Um,
There was some very cool game on the PSP. Like one of the best fighting games I've played was on the PSP. It was the Final Fantasy Dissidia game,
Oh
yeah,
which was
yeah.
super original and awesome to play. It's by far nothing the same as the one that they released on PlayStation 4, I think. Because the one on PlayStation 4, they made it more so that it's balanced and competitive. And it was really boring compared to the PSP one that was just so fun to play.
Yeah,
PS.
especially especially like having the modern technology we have now compared to like years ago, I would be very excited to like actually own a PSP again. Just for the nostalgia feeling and like see what type. Also to see like what type of games they come up with for it. So I don't know. It's just when you guys were talking, I'm like, huh? All I thought about was the PSP. So I'm like, maybe like another one I was like thinking about is the old school Nintendo DS as well to see like how they would modify that. It's not like the Switch or anything, but actually like the Nintendo DS. Because I personally like the DS as well.
So a Switch with 2 screen, that's what you want to see.
Not really, but like so the similar model to the Nintendo DS, but like I guess more not. I don't know. I don't have to explain it.
No,
But that would be interesting though.
I do get it because yeah, when I was thinking of the handhelds that I enjoyed, those were two that I really loved too. I don't know what it was with the DS, but I do agree with you, Sleepy. Like the DS felt fun to play on.
The Switch console is I have small hands, right? So it's too big for me.
Yep.
So the Nintendo DS is like perfect for me.
Yeah, I
So I just want to see like, yeah.
I told Jimmy that like
I
when
just
I'm
want to see
holding
what
it,
they would do with that.
your hand almost cramps.
Yeah. Yeah, I have small hands, so
Me too. Me too.
I have to literally reach my fingers to press the button. So yeah, those I don't know. Those two are like my favorite handheld consoles that I really enjoy.
I know it's such a small feature.
I kind of.
As I said, I know it's such a small feature, but I love the little crazy things Nintendo did with like the DS and like games with that. Like I always refer back to it as those solar powered games. You know, it was such a pointless feature. Like yeah, I mean you need the power of the sun to work on the game, but it was creative. It was something new. It was something different, right? And I give Nintendo credit for that kind of stuff when they implement it in either their gaming cartridges or their actual games themselves.
Yeah, because there's a lot of games you can play with the DS. You know, I personally feel like you can never get bored of the DS.
Yeah. And the two screens.
There's variety compared to the Nintendo Switch. There's not much games for the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, it would be nice to have like another PSP, and it's really disappointing that PS5 thing that they released isn't even close to what gamers wanted. Like when I first saw it, like first started being talked about, I was like, oh buddy, yeah, a new PSP, like I'll definitely get a PS5 then, if that's the case. Then yeah, when you found out more about it, you got to see it, it was like, what a disappointment. The one I did get the PSP Vita. I know Jimmy talks pretty highly of that one. Apparently that was pretty good.
I'm mindful. I think it's super. I think you're cutting nonstop on Discord.
Oh, am I? Okay. Sorry. Here, let me
Mindful, I think you're cutting up on Discord.
There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I was kind of wondering because
I thought it was only me.
no, it's okay.
It's
Mindful cannot win lately with Discord or Restream, apparently. It's always like when it hits the hour mark. So every time I hit a new hour, that's when it starts to have little problems.
I thought it was me. I was using my phone, but I thought it was me. Okay, because it's my connection.
Oh man. But yeah, no. Basically, what I was saying was just that I was so disappointed with the new like PS5 version of the PSP because it just seemed like a missed opportunity, right? For what gamers actually were hoping for versus what they are getting.
You mean the Portal? I think it's called.
Yeah, the Portal.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It just seemed like a wet fart.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like it looks like what, just like a phone between two controller or two side pieces of a controller.
I don't know. It's like you can you can play. Basically, it's like the Vita, but without the Vita.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can connect it to your console and okay.
As I was saying too, I know Jimmy spoke very highly of the Vita. He found that one to be a lot of fun. I never got a chance to try that one, but the PSP was definitely one of my favorite handheld consoles I've ever got to play. Yeah, I can't brag enough. And you're right, the gaming library for it was just phenomenal. There were so many great games I played on the PSP. What was it Assassin's Creed? That was the one. That was the first freaking Assassin's Creed game I actually played, and I really enjoyed. It was on the PSP.
Yeah, it's been forever since I've played a Assassin's Creed that I like. I don't know how the series will look with all their new upcoming titles.
Yeah, do we have like one coming out soon? Is it no? It's not Mirage.
Well, Mirage
Is it
came out
Mirage? Okay,
last
that's right.
month.
Oh, okay. It was last month. Okay, it's just I played.
Well, there's multiple titles. There's like Mirage. There's one where it's in China. There's one called Hex where it's in the Salem witch trials, and I don't know. They don't know what to do. They're just doing a bunch of random stuff and see what it sticks.
Yeah, literally, right? Yeah, let's just explore any part of the world and see what, or any timeline and see what works.
Oh, weren't they working on the Japan one as well, or did they just ignore still Japan after so many years of people asking for it, and then Ghost of Tsushima doing it for them?
Yeah, pretty much, right? Yeah, I feel like they were supposed to do Japan. I think that's right.
Anyway, like I don't know. I don't have high faith in Ubisoft.
No, I know. Same here. It was like the Division. You know when that one came out, and I watched Jamie for the Super Show play it. I thought
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this game looks so much fun, you know. And like I played it, and it just was not the same for me. I was like, I don't know how he loves this game so much. I'm not enjoying it to the same level.
Yeah, well, it was weird.
Yeah, right. It seemed like a neat idea, but just I don't know. When you played it, it wasn't the same effect. And Watch Dogs, that was the other one. Everyone always tells me I should try Watch Dogs 1 again, but I don't know.
Oh, yeah, no. Watch Dogs 1 is the best one. I find it. It's good. It's fun and it's not annoying. Watch Dogs 2 was just terrible. Like every character was just so hateable. It was
Oh,
disgusting to follow.
so it wasn't like the game mechanics. It was the story that they screwed up on number 2.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like the first one, a lot of people found it a bit generic, which, to be fair, maybe. But, I have a soft spot for vigilante stories, so I liked it.
Yeah, of
But
course.
the second one was just so cringe and edgy for no reason. Like I couldn't deal with it. And third one had good ideas, but it was poorly executed. So
That third one was Legion, right?
yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, it seemed like a
Yeah,
good idea.
after Legion, I think Watch Dogs is dead.
Yeah,
Like I don't think they've been doing well, any of them.
yeah, I think after Legion it was pretty much finished. That's too bad. um, but yeah, for either UJW or Sleepy, the last one we had, if you guys had anything you want to add on to it, was just what do you think it takes to be a good person, or what's your view of what a good person would be? Just I think we had a lot of great ones already that were shouted on Discord, but yeah, if you guys had any others you wanted to add in.
Well, I mean, not being narcissistic helps.
Very true, very true.
I think that's my main one.
I always
I agree with that as well.
out of curiosity, because everyone kind of says like different, like I mean I know there is a definition of it, right? But just out of curiosity for you guys, what do you view as a narcissist? Like when you say that term, right? Like what comes to your mind?
The what term? Sorry.
Like a narcissist, like what would like if you were to call someone that, what kind of behavior would they be having to get that title?
No. No, isn't it someone that does everything, does anything and everything to so that it revolves around them?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of enough point. The view I have of it too. It's just interesting, right? Because some people take different aspects of it, and it's just I don't know. I always find it interesting when people bring up that term and what they mean when they say that word. But that's how I view it too. GW, someone that kind of like does everything for them.
Because an egotistical is someone that just has a big ego.
Yeah. Which I think
But
some.
a narcissist, I think it's way more, way worse probably,
Yeah.
and less fixable.
Yeah. I think those two kind of clash every once in a while, as far as like people, as people's views on them, they kind of get them a little mixed up at times.
Oh yeah, people use it interchangeably, but they don't mean the same.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Sleepy. You were gonna say though, what was yours for a good person?
Um, I think main one for me, just like in general, to like make friends or to get along with someone, for me to think you're a good person, for me, I guess being open minded, to like other people's like opinion or like their ideas. So like I really dislike people who are close minded, right? So they're like, well, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but
No,
I don't
no, I
like
get
people who
you.
are close minded. They're not willing to see different point of views.
Exactly. It's
Um
simple as like like, oh, video games are childish, and you could be like, well, no, video games are actually kind of fun. Like.
yeah, and also another thing for me is a big thing for me is and another big thing for me. I can't even talk right now. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
uh, a person who isn't playing the victim, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe the actual terminology for it, but like when when something bad happens, right, in their life, and they're like and try to help them through it, but they're like, but why me? Why does this happen to me? Kind of playing the victim. It's like, but I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does.
Yeah. So like, a person who doesn't play a victim and being very open-minded, I guess for me that makes someone likable, or like when we need to like talk to them as friends.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, especially these days, I find the victim card is overly, excessively used by a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it's
mean,
hard to have a conversation anymore.
yeah, no, it is. It's. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a point in our lives, because we're all human, that we play the victim card, right? Something, we're just overwhelmed with everything that's happening, and there are times where you question, like, why me, right? But at the same time, it's just like constantly using the victim card and not improving yourself, to make yourself better is what actually takes.
Yeah.
So it's just because I have a friend. I'm not gonna name names, but I have a friend that it takes me a lot. It takes a lot for me to be like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. It's you would have to do a lot for me to be in that state of mind where I'm like, I don't want no association with you. That So I'm constantly working. I'm either running the business with my mom or for my mom, or I'm streaming, or if I'm not working and if I'm not streaming, I'm running errands. I'm out all the time. And then that person will text me personally and it's like, why aren't you talking to me? Oh, you don't want to be my friend anymore? Like, I'm just like, I'm busy. I'm not on my phone constantly. So it's just like, or there's just some days where I just don't want to talk. There's some nights where I just want a game and don't talk to anybody. But that friend sees me playing it with other friends and like, well, you're a fake friend then. I'm over here like, what? I'm like, me? I'm just like,
Sounds very clingy.
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm just like, I have friends of friends. Right? Everyone has friends of friends, and it's just like if you don't ask for me to play with you, play Valorant or whatever with you, I'm not gonna play with you. If you never ask. And then there's some days where I just, my friend, you want to talk on phone when I get off of work. I'm just like, I don't want to talk on phone. I want to chill. I want some me time right now, fool. like, let me breathe. And they're like, oh, okay, whatever. Night, I guess. Like, oh, this is why I don't talk. This is why I don't respond back.
Yeah, it's totally.
But besides that, I'm very responsive to my friends. Like all my friends know me. If it's emergency, they call me like 3-4 times. If it's emergency, text me, spam me, whatever. But if there's nothing bad has happened in your family, you're not in the hospital, like, you to wait until I'm done with my own shit, Like, I'll call you when I can. Sure. But like, I don't know, it's kind of funny. Like, I asked multiple friends about that situation, and they're like, block him, block them. I'm like, I can't do that. So I'm just like, so definitely not playing the victim card, and definitely being open-minded, to other things would be my big ordeal about that.
I agree. I like that. I was gonna say it's funny too, like you mentioned that, because yeah, you're in the right, Sleepy. Like example I could give you is Jimmy. I'm sure you experienced it too, right? Like he'll apologize, for not playing or not being on here. It's like, dude, you're a dad right now. You got responsibilities. Like it's totally understandable if you can't do things when you have free time and you want to play, like, yeah, hit me up and I'll gladly play with you. It's like you said, just be respectful of the other, like it's like it was like me being upset, that one of you guys can't be on here, right? It's like, no, like people have lives, people have things to do, right? Yeah, like You gotta let people live their own lives too. When you can hang out, you can hang out. When you can't, it's understandable. That's crazy how that person's reacting to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it's just
respect
like,
and honesty are my main things when it comes to dealing with people.
yeah, and like our our schedules are like, and our schedules and our time zones are like totally different. So like my friend works on the weekends at night or early morning. I work at normal. Well, I work 6 days a week, but you know that's me.
Yeah.
I'm technically I got called a workaholic by one of my friends for working 6 days a week. Because if I'm not working, I'm streaming. So they're like, you're a workaholic. I'm like, no, yes, but also no. I work to pay my bills. I stream to help me pay my bills, but at the same time, I stream for fun.
Yeah.
That's my like stress reliever, which is funny because I play Valorant, which causes more stress. But
Plus, both of them are your own.
but it's just like, yeah. So I'm just like, there's some days where I'm like, I don't want to talk to anyone, and then some days I'm just like, all right, I could be talking for like an hour or two, but after that I'm just like, I'm burnt out. After that I'm just like, I'm tired.
And then I was just gonna.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, go ahead, Sleepy.
yeah. Oh no, I was just saying, just like also taking in fact that all of us living in different time zones as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of us are like 3 hours ahead. Some of us are like 5 hours behind. Um, like for me in California, in Cali, it's 6:40 at night. So it's like home, sitting in my car, talking on Discord. And then when I'm done with Discord, I'm then go do my own thing, eat and take a shower and watch some anime basically. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds like a nice end of the day. I was just gonna say, like, I agree with the point that JW brought up, and I know you brought up a few times, JW, but I think it's a solid thing to keep reminding people, right? And it's to just sometimes have like a normal, like basic conversation, like you're saying, not to get so bent out of shape or so sensitive about whatever a topic might be. Like I understand there are some issues, right, that are very passionate and stuff like that, but I agree with you in the way like I just miss having a normal conversation sometimes with someone, just being able to say, hey, this is my thoughts. Hey, those are your thoughts. Okay, just kind of talking it out from there. And you're right. It seems like we're slowly fading away from that more and more as we progress with new generations or even new subject matters.
Honestly, I miss having a conversation too, even though like we're all busy with our own life, right? But it's always nice to like have a friend reach out like, hey, I know you've been busy. Just want to reach out, check in on you. Are you okay? If you have time, let's talk. You know. But like people don't do that anymore though. People are like overly sensitive if you cannot talk
Yeah,
when they want to talk.
Well, the problem is not only sensitive, but concentrated on themselves.
yeah, that too. It sucks, right? Because like I said, like example, like when you say something, sometimes I'll notice, like you'll say, like like it's almost like you don't want to say your full thoughts, and it's like it sucks. It's like, well, no, like you should be able to express how you feel and what you're thinking, right? Um, you shouldn't have to feel like you're gonna be, like someone's gonna like lash back at you, like, oh, how could you think that? It's like, well, no, like that's he thinks that for his own particular reasons, right? Like,
Yeah.
give the guy a break, kind of a thing. I don't know. I agree. I think it's stupid that we just can't have normal conversations anymore.
Yeah, I mean, just the other day, well, yeah, I think 2 days ago, I was called toxic for not liking Captain Marvel
Oh my
on the
god!
Discord server.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure. I'm telling you, showed the conversation to Jug, and he couldn't believe it.
That's ridiculous.
I got called a bitch for mixing up Marvel and DC. So
Oh,
I'm just like, well, I just got off of work and I wasn't thinking, and I said Marvel instead of DC, and they're like, oh, you're such a B for that. And it's like, what?
like I just
I'm like, okay.
don't
I'm
even
like, what?
like I don't even understand how people get so bent out of shape over that shit. Like I hate seeing that on Twitter too, and you see like someone like responding like, "Oh, you're an F and this and that because you like Spider-Man." It's like, who the fuck really cares? Like, Jesus.
No, but the person in question assumed that I was a toxic male that didn't want to see any woman as a
Oh my
lead
God.
in a story, which
Yes.
clearly she well, she never read what I've written because all of my stories have female lead characters, strong characters. So, but I mean, I have a bunch of favorite shows where female lead is my favorite, like Claymore, for example. They're all female lead, and it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's my point. Like, like when someone doesn't even get the chance to get to know you, like if they knew you, like, like as we all have talked to you, right? Like you said, like we know your characters, your stories, right? And things that you've enjoyed in your life. But even just like you as a person, like that's not your trait. You are not a toxic person. It's just someone literally taking one concept that they wanted to be right on, and then they're gonna escalate it to that point. It's just it's so
Well, for
childish.
sure, it was the first time I was talking to that person. Like
Wow.
I never saw that person ever, and that's the first impression I got.
Oh, it's just sad. Oh, that sucks, buddy. I'm sorry you had to deal with that shit.
So now you see why that you have to be careful.
I know. You know.
Or you're just calling them out because I called her out afterwards on that. Like, it makes no sense. It's unreasonable.
Yeah, like why put that judgment on you? You don't deserve it.
Yeah, because in the end, that's what people do. They ignore or they don't want to fight, so they just say nothing, and then people get canceled over stupidities like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, people need to fight it back.
I agree with you. Like I said, that's why like a small thing, right? But that's why I always felt like so uncomfortable for so long, like even saying if I was upset about something or whatever the case was, just because like I was around like people like you're describing, right? Like just people just take things to such extreme, or like Sleepy said, people that wanted to really focus on themselves and their own like victim cards, and then like when you actually had a chance to like express something and everyone was upsetting you, I in my head right away I was like, man, do I sound like them now? Like, am I coming across that way, right? Reality is I'm probably not, right? But just when you're around those kind of toxic people, right, you just start to question too many things that you shouldn't be questioning.
For sure, yeah.
Hey, Pizza. Sorry, you came, you came in the midst of a whole conversation there. How's your night going, buddy?
Don't mind me. I was just listening to you guys doing a little conversation. I just finished up my second job, so now I'm just relaxing a little bit.
Yeah, how are you feeling, buddy? How's the two jobs treating you? Your body doing okay and everything?
Oh, yeah, that's good. I mean, my day job, I'm off until next Monday, so I got the week to myself. But with my night job, I mean, I'm still working the nights, but it's not too bad. I get the whole day to myself, and I'm just doing my little 2 hours or 3 hours.
Nice, nice. So I'm glad it's not too hard on you. Um, I don't know if you have anything you wanted to add, Pizza, but we were just kind of going on that topic of, what is a good person, or what is, your definition or view of what a good person is, or things that you do to be a good person. Did you have anything you wanted to add in?
I mean, kind of what Sleepy was talking about with when people are just doing their own thing. When you're doing your own thing, sometimes you just gotta say that I can't do it, I can't make it because if I'm busy. I mean, I'll let you know what's happening, but that's about it. Especially like how I just came back from work and I missed most of the podcast. I mean, you know, if I wasn't working, I would be here. I would be here. I'll probably be the first one to join in. But normally with my job, it ends around this time, maybe 8:30. Rarely do I get out any earlier than that. So when I do get out, I'm kind of missing a few points here and there. But I'll make time. I will always make time to get in and hang out, give my 2 cents, do what I can. But yeah, it's I'm just kind of just doing what I got to do first, and then everything else, if I can, I will. That's kind of my mentality.
Oh, I know, buddy. I appreciate you coming in whenever you can. I know, as I said, I totally understand that life is busy, especially when you're trying to do 2 jobs. That is not easy. Um, I was gonna say, I don't know if you're allowed to say or not, Pizza. If you're not, that's totally understandable. But I was gonna say with your main job, right? That question probably comes into play a little more often for you. Like what do you? I guess how do I say this? How do you handle those situations like in a classroom? Where someone's obviously has like a very toxic personality. Because obviously you can't just lose your cool and be like, hey, you're being a so and so right now. You have to be a little more professional. That yeah, just
And I wish we could do that in the workplace.
no way. But yeah, I'm just curious, Pizza, because you're around young developed minds, right? So I mean, obviously, sometimes they say shit that they probably shouldn't. How do you handle yourself, or like how do you handle that individual when they behave that way?
Yeah. Well, luckily, I haven't really had too much of that. At least not right now. Maybe I will in the second semester, but I think with either my students or other people, when they kind of are dealing with people that are either toxic or they're just being really rude, a lot of times they'll just call them out. I mean, it's high school, so most of the kids are, they can handle essentially, they can handle being called on actions, and generally when that happens, I think that when we explain why what they're doing is not cool, they understand and they start to lighten up a little bit. Um, I don't think I've seen anyone take what we say as an insult or take what we say as like some kind of you're stupid kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
we don't want those kids to grow up and become those adults who we have to work with who are toxic. So when we do have it, we kind of just redirect it back to them, and we kind of tell them why, we shouldn't be doing that to begin with. So that's it. I think being in that position, like being a teacher with like younger people, you have the ability to kind of give them a different point of view, and oftentimes, after that first or second, and after that first second kind of talk that we give them, they come around. And so, that's kind of why I don't really see much of it nowadays, but we'll see what happens with the seniors.
no, that's awesome, my guy. I'm glad you have such a positive way to handle that kind of situation. I laugh because, like, honestly, there's sometimes I get customers where I just call them on their shit too. I'm like, listen, you're being a real or like arsehole right now. Like, yeah. Like the worst part is like,
Oh yeah,
like sometimes you do that, right? But then like in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get that email later on in the week saying that they complained to head office.
oh yeah. No, I mean, luckily, well, I guess luckily again though with our seniors, like they all want to be adults, so they're always like, I have kids calling me every word they can, but of course, they're not doing it in a mean way. Like, they're just, that's kind of how, when we were kids, we were saying cuss words all the time. So,
That's
since
true.
since they do it around the parents and around us, it's kind of created that environment where we can kind of say what we want and there's no real issue. And most of my students are pretty solid. If I curse at them, they curse. Well, I'm sorry. If we kind of joke around and we're cursing at each other, like there's no they trust me not to talk, not to write them up, and I trust them not to go tell their parents. And so there's this relationship between each other where you know we're we're good, we're solid, and of course when someone does get out of line, I'll kind of redirect it back to just being like, hey, let's keep it chill, let's have fun, let's keep it chill. So I'm kind of able, I'm able to show them that difference, that fine line. Because yeah, I know there are some of my students who they well, there are some students at the school itself where like they're not used to all this profanity, all this horseplaying, and they'll take it and they'll run with it way too far. And that's what I want to avoid, because then it kind of puts a target on our back saying no, not to do it, because we now have people who don't understand how to grow up. So, but yeah, my kids are good though. They're pretty good over there.
Pizza, you're awesome, my dude. I love
My high
how
school,
chill you are.
my high
Uh,
school didn't care. My high school teachers, especially being seniors, like they just cussed at us. They were just like, well, oh shit. I'm over here always looking at you like, they just say shit. I'm like, what?
Well, you're
Or it's
all
like,
very lucky.
it was just like it'll be first period, and my teacher's like, well, shit, and we're like, what? We're like, teach, what you said? And he's like, yeah, well, shit, you guys are seniors, grow the fuck up. I was like, okay. I was just like, oh my god, like I was like, you're crazy.
yeah,
But
I mean, like you said, yeah, I mean, it is when some of the kids hear the teachers cursing with the students, they're thinking that, the school is lost now because of that one thing. But over time, I noticed that, all these quiet kids who are, they try to be all goody two shoes and whatnot, they end up being a real sailor mouth. And, it's like, okay, like, do your thing. You're an adult. Like, I, I give my students leeway and let them do what they want to do, because let me rephrase that. I give them leeway on, kind of little things here and there, like just how they talk. Because I know for a fact that, I was their age, so I talk the same way. So I'm not about to go around and gatekeep inexperience for the kids. So yeah, they go off, and sometimes when I'm feeling, playful, I might do it here and there. But of course, I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm not about to say every curse word, because there are some things that I just will not say off of principle.
mhm. But then I go to college, and my professors they don't they don't cuss at all. So I was very confused. I'm like, my high school teacher cussed, but I went to college, and I'm like, they don't. My college professors were more. I wouldn't say respectful, but more like in some way professional, and they didn't really cuss compared to my
Oh,
high school teachers.
yeah. I mean, like I noticed that too. Like when I'm, back in my college days, most of my professors they kept it 100. Now, they weren't going to curse at you because in that environment, like yeah, we're all adults, but we're kind of on the path towards higher learning. So I guess in a sense, like we're not really focused on being play. No, we're not playing around. We're trying to get stuff done and really focus on professionalism. With high school, they're kids. Like they're still. I mean, yeah, they're 18 and 19. They're still kids. They can't drink, they can't smoke. So really, they're just kids who can drive. So the environment is definitely more playful, more, just kind of have fun while learning. And I'm glad because my school could not. I mean, well, they have tried and they have failed multiple times to make the high school like a college setting because there's no way you can get these kids who are probably in the middle of puberty or coming off of puberty to be like adults, like full-fledged adults. So, I think that when they go to college, everything kind of just, the tone definitely shifts, especially when you're like when you're you're about to graduate from undergrad, like you don't have time for the games. You're already in that work mode and that I'm professional kind of thing. So all the games, kind of go out the window, which, yeah, I have noticed that too. And I like that difference. I like seeing that night and day difference.
Yeah, that's something I definitely see, like being 24 now, which is crazy. But like, I definitely see the difference compared when like you're 16 or 17 or 18 and you're cussing. Do you think cussing makes you so cool? Right? You think all the cuss words in the book. But as an adult, yeah, you cuss, but it's not as much as when you're a teenager. So
Totally.
that's
Totally.
that's the difference I see.
It's funny.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know for a fact that I didn't really cuss a lot, after high school because, I just, I guess, yeah, maybe it was that after school, trying to fit in because my friends did it and, it was whatever. But yeah, I mean, I went to college out of state, so I had no friends around me. So, I was kind of back to being how I normally was. And honestly, I'm glad I did because well, not almost all, but a good chunk of my college friends, they were there to get their degree, get a job, and be done with it. So, I kind of stuck with them and I made it work. I have met, some party people. I met all the Greek people, some of my friends became Greeks, but I kind of just kept it kind of, just kind of, I was myself. And I was pretty much just a quiet guy who, if I had to do things, I did things, and I was it.
Yeah, as growing up, I wasn't really allowed to cuss. Um, Especially like my mom was super strict about cussing. So like the only time I could cuss is when I was at a friend's house. Touch her parents is okay, and I thought it was cool. I'm like, oh, I'm being, I don't have to be good for once. I actually get to cuss. It's like thrilling, I guess. Um, Especially like growing up in a strict household. But now, like now that I'm older, like I don't like cussing. Like I have friends who are younger than me, and they cuss like sailors. Oh my, they're cussing left and right. I'm like, chill with the cussing, man. Like, it's not that serious. Like chill with your kids. Why are you cussing so much? So I'm just like, okay. So oh no, teenagers are teenagers, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I agree. Like same here, same here. Um, I have friends who they love to cuss a lot. Now I don't know if it's because that's just how they grew up or what, but sometimes, no, I'm not. I'm not about to be like, hey man, chill out with all that. 'Cause, it's like, I mean, I'm not about to cause no drama over that. Like, that's just me though. That's just me. I'm sure that somebody would do that, and you do you, my man. But it wasn't for me. So, anytime they kept cursing, I kind of just, took a step back, and I hope that they understood visual cues, because if they didn't, then, I just, kind of turn the other turn the other cheek and kind of, oh, sorry, I'm gonna turn around and just kind of walk away, because sometimes, you know, it just becomes, it's like when somebody tells you a joke that was funny the first time, but then it becomes worse, or like it becomes more lame. It's like, okay, it was cool the first time. Now I'm kind of done with it now. We're over it. That's how I look at cursing nowadays. It's cool to do one time, but then every other day, yeah, now we're good. We're good now.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me with like drinking, right? Because a lot of my significant others' friends, we used to hang out with like playing board games and stuff like that, which is really fun. Because all my friends did stuff before 21, so like I was slightly involved with that. But when I hit 21, I kind of slowed down, right? I went to my first club when I was 22. I recently went to my first rave, like 3 days before my birthday, and like I experienced it. I had fun. Would I do it constantly? No. But his friends, I would say my partner's friends. His friends are more grade two students, I would say, and way into their 21, right? And then we had a Friendsgiving last Sunday, and they were all drinking on a Sunday night the night before going to work at 7:40 in the morning. And they're all drinking, and they're all drunk, and all that. And they asked me, if I want to drink. I had to drive back to my boyfriend's house because my boyfriend took his own car, and I had to drive because I just finished having a birthday dinner with my stepdad. So they're like, "Hey, you used to drink with us, like take a shot or two." I'm like, "You guys are drinking on a Sunday night before, like, few hours before you have to wake up and go to work the next morning, and some of you guys have to drive to drive back home." So like they kept asking me to drink, and then I was only there half an hour or like an hour and a half, and I'm like, I'm gonna go home. I am tired. I'm gonna go home, and that's what I did. I was like, this is getting old. I don't like drinking, so I'm like, I'm out. So yeah, I definitely understand about the whole social, physical, social cues, I guess.
Yeah.
I get that sleepy. That's why I started drinking.
I do my visual. Oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah. I'm glad that some people see it that way, because when I try and when I try and tell people about how I'm not really feeling it, like they kind of think that I'm like I'm out of touch, or I'm not with it. Sometimes, I mean, I might be sometimes, but not always. Especially if it's on a Sunday night. Like I'm not trying to do all that on a Sunday night. I'm trying to do what I need to do right now, and then go to bed at a certain time, and then wake up at a certain time. I don't, and yeah, drinking, especially drinking heavily, that doesn't do anything for me. Like that,
Yeah,
sorry, it doesn't benefit me in any single way. So I don't know why people would assume that I'll just I'll change my ways instantly. Especially when if I'm expecting a paycheck that week, I'm not about to go and mess things up over a drink.
yeah. I just don't like. I understand if you work from home, right? If you work from home, sure, drink all you want. I don't care. But like for me, where I physically have to drive to work, which takes me 30 minutes to drive to work, I'm not driving with a hangover for 30 minutes. I physically have to stand and talk to people all day for 8 hours. So
But
it's
you
just like
see, just say to them, I've been 6 months sober, and they'll stop asking you to drink.
That's true, actually.
I just tell I honestly just tell them I honestly just tell them like I'm tired, but they're the type of people like if you're tired, you know what to help with your tiredness? Alcohol. I'm like okay,
Sure.
and I'm over here like that doesn't help. Scientifically, that does not help. Coffee helps. But anyways, that's not my point. But it's just yeah, and it's just like after I left, my boyfriend was still there, and everyone's like, "Why'd she leave? Like, is she okay? Is she mad or something?" I'm like, "I was just generally tired." And it's just like I went home, I went back to his house, and I tell you, I knocked out. I passed out. I was like, sleep. So it's just like, I don't know. I don't like to be around people who peer pressure.
Yeah, I'd say sometimes
So
Yeah, understandable.
sometimes just the people that are around you, right? Like it's kind of funny, but in the same breath, like to get like an idea of it, right? Is when I had my group of friends before I met Cheyenne, right? They were the same way you're describing, sleepy, like very big party animals. And, when you're around those people, you assume that's a normal way to behave, right? Because, like, why would your friends lead you down the wrong path, right? And yeah, like they would be the same way. I remember one shift I had. Sorry, Mom, if you hear this. um, we had, like we drank all the time. We just assumed it was a normal thing to behave like that, right? And I worked at Zellers, which was, like I said before, is like the Canadian version of Walmart. And my job there was basically just to collect carts and shit like that. Like it was a pretty like chill job. Like there wasn't anything major with it. And my friend was like, "We should just totally get drunk and then go to work." And I was like, "Fuck, that sounds awesome. Let's do it." And I remember he just got so hammered. I was like, okay, and yeah, like I pretty much did my whole shift drunk, and like I just assumed that was a normal behavior with your first job and all that. Obviously, now that I've matured and went through several different jobs, I know you don't do that. But yeah, sometimes it's the people that you're hanging around with, right? There was good moments with them, but yeah, it's that constant pressure to feel like you need. And when you're in that situation, you don't even think of it as pressure, right? You just think of it as like, no, this is just, we're just chilling, we're just doing whatever, right? But no, it's actually very bad habits and very bad things that you're getting involved in those moments. So it's good that you had the ability, basically, I'm saying, to walk away and not take part in that environment.
like if you asked me years ago, be like, hey, let's drink on a Sunday night. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm like, let's do it. Let's have some fun, But now I'm just like, I'm in bed by 10:30. I'm asleep by 11:30, type of thing. So I'm just like, I don't know. It's because his friends, they've been. I want to say the only way to describe it is goody two shoes, right? They're very well behaved to their parents. For me,
Yeah.
I had a whole different style. I grew up completely different from how they grew up. So I did all the stuff at a very young age, right? So like for me, turning 21 was just like, okay, cool, I could drink legally now. Nice.
Yeah, that's true.
It was like nice. I did my own. It's just like for them, they waited until they're 21. They're like, oh my gosh, let's party, let's do stuff like that. Especially me being an Asian household, right? Like there's gonna be drinks. There's gonna be drinks. It just happened. So it's just like I kind of got all of that out of my system at a very young age. So when I hit 21, I was like, is this supposed to be still any different? Like, I was
Yeah.
just questioning, like, is this supposed to be like this?
No, it really opened my eyes
Um,
because I was the same way too. I didn't drink anything till I was 18. And yeah, I was a little bit of a bastard when I turned 18. So maybe you're on the right trail here. Maybe it's better to let people have a few drinks before that milestone hits, so they don't make an ass of themselves. Like put in perspective. I'll never first time I got like really sloshed at the bar, and I was so wasted that my mom had like the bartender, like, not the bartender, sorry, the bouncer asked me, he's like, "Who do you want me to call?" I was like, "My mom," as I was like fucking passed out in the bathroom stall, like, oh yeah, never want to be 18 again.
Yeah, no, for my 21st, I went to a Korean barbecue, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like, again, I did everything at such a young age. Where just like, oh, now you're 21, you should buy your drink. You should drink now. So I still have the picture of this, which is so funny. Now that I passed 21, but like every time, and it this little like memories thing on your phone.
Yeah.
So every time I see the photos, like of my, I literally captured as my first legal drink. So it's just like every time I see it, I'm like, oh, I capitalized legal.
That's so funny.
And every time I see it now, every time my birthday comes around and I see it now, I start laughing my ass off. Like, oh my god! I think I was like, oh my god, the 21-year-old me that house.
You know, it's funny though when you guys were talking about like college and all that, your experience. Mine's so different at university. That was like my high school teachers every once in a while would slip up, but they were pretty like, like, oh, sorry, I shouldn't have said that, right? Except my history teacher. My history teacher was awesome. Like, he was the guy that did the D&D matches. He fucking swore like a sailor. Like, he was just dropping them left, right, and center. But it was good with his class. Because like most of the history topics that we were talking about, when he did swear, like it made sense to what he was talking about, so it's kind of cool. But university was like, holy crap! I actually had one professor where every second word was almost the F word, and I was just like, my dude, like I like that word too, but you're you're taking it to a whole new level. The other thing I was gonna say too is, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but do you remember like the first time like you dropped a swear word in like a fight or whatever? I just like it was like that moment when you were like a kid, a teenager, whatever it was, and you just felt like such like a badass. You know what I mean? Like, fuck you. Like, yeah, that was intense. I told him off.
No, but I do remember it was probably around first or second grade.
Oh, really? Oh, I think mine was later on. I remember.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, no, swearing was all over the place. So it was easy.
I think it's second grade. That's when we
Not too
started
bad.
learning how to spell the swear words, and I felt like such a badass. Like, yeah, I just spelled bitch.
My first swear word was F you to my mom.
yeah.
But I didn't say it in front of her. I went to my room, I flipped her off. I'm like, that when I started to off, I'm like, yeah, I told her off to tell me.
And then you hear them in like the other room go, I heard that, and your heart drops for a second.
Yeah, no, I think my mom heard me one time, right? Because I was like, F you, I'm like, F you, Mom. Like, I thought I didn't say loud. I was smart to hear. She ran back to my, she's like, what you say? I'm like, nothing, Mom, I love you.
I love those moments.
She's like, did you just test at me? She's like, did you just test at me? I'm like, no, I would never. I'm sorry.
I know.
Oh my god.
Yo, look, I wish that happened to me. I know that my first curse word, unfortunately, because it's like I was just like saying, it's like okay, it's like, well, okay, like this is, I thought it was like the word fork, right? So I said that, but I said F word, right? And my mom heard me. Next thing I knew, she came right to me and she smacked me right in the face and said, "Don't say it again." I'm like, "What'd I say?" And I was like, "Okay, well then now I know. We're not gonna say it then." Then the next time I did it, I was saying I meant to say Virginia, but I said Virginia, and next thing I know, I got slapped again.
Oh,
And I'm like, "What I do?" They're just. So I'm like, okay, well then I guess we're not saying those words nowadays, and I still don't know. And even to this day, I will never know what I did wrong. I'm just like, I just said a word. I didn't know what the word meant, but I assumed that I knew better. I didn't. So, then of course, the last time I said the word damn, and of course, I got smacked again. I'm like, what I do? What am I doing wrong? I'm just saying words. And so, of course, looking back at it now, it was funny. It was just like comical because, it's like, I was like, okay, I guess I knew what it was now. I was just being a little kid. So, but yeah, those are my first curse words, and I got rightfully smacked upside the head like a little boy.
I just said, don't you worry, pizza. I also got the spankings and everything once in a while too. I remember I tried to call my mom's bluff one time when she had like like making that threat like, oh, I'll get the wooden spoon or whatever it is, like at you, and you feel like cocky there, but she's like, yeah, just try it. Yeah, that was the last time I called her bluff. Oh.
Yeah, I learned very quickly not to do all that because
Yeah.
the last 90 years to get my butt whooped over a word. So I definitely kept my mouth shut. If I saw a word that looked like a bad word, I didn't even think about it. I was like, you know what? Let me not even say anything
Yeah.
because the last thing I did was for her to come up behind me again and slap me in the back of my head.
Oh.
So I am good, and even to this day, she might curse around me, but I don't even bother cursing around her because, A, I respect her enough to not do that, and B, I'm not trying to get smacked again. I'm good.
Exactly. I know. Every once in a while, I'll catch myself and I'll say something like, "Oh, sorry." Probably should have said it to your mom.
Oh yeah.
Because you're
Oh
just you're
yeah.
used
No,
to talking to other
if I have,
people, right? And you slip up when you're in that conversation with a parent or someone that you normally wouldn't talk that way around.
I know, right? Yeah. So if I ever get to the point where I might say the word, I will quickly try and find a different word. So if I gotta say oh shit, I might say oh shiz, or like something that's not the same thing. Just not as bad. So that's what I'll try and do. But yeah, I'll say damn here and there. 'Cause, it's like I learned that it's not really. I mean, I guess in some instances, it's not like a bad word. Like just saying oh damn, like it's whatever. I think that that word has kind of faded into just being another word. But I won't say ass though. I'm good on that one. I'm gonna do all that because that's pushing it. So I keep it PG-13, even though the word ass is now in all these kid movies. I'm good.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. Actually, it is.
I am good. I don't care if it's PG 5 years old. I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sleepy.
If I cuss around my mom, before I even say the cuss word, I'm just like, Mom, I'm sorry for my language. Like, I'm just like, I always let my mom know ahead. Like if I'm telling her something and like I'm really passionate or like upset about, I'm like, Mom, excuse me for my language, but I say it and she just starts laughing. Why you say that every time? I'm like, because I don't like cussing. I don't like cussing in front of you. So I'm like, I'm sorry for about to cuss, but I'm not cuss. So it's just like that's my ordeal around like cussing. People like cussing in front of my mom. But
Anyway, it's such a different
You
Good
know,
experience.
if my parents were, if they were like, cool with it, yeah, my parents were cool with it, I might do it. But even then, I think after a while, I kind of just said, you know what? I think I'm gonna just not do it off of principle. Like, you would never call, like, I mean, it's like respect your elders kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I just keep it that way. If I wouldn't say it's my great grandma, I would not say it's my parents, even if they're not even, like, even if my parents are nowhere near middle age. I'm not about to do that. I'm good, and I think that. Plus, like, I mean, I'm okay with it because, it's like, again, like, even though my students might curse, oftentimes, if I'm not feeling it, I'm just not going to entertain it. And so, it kind of does work in my favor, being able to distance myself from all that. It helps in certain ways. But, yeah, my parents, are they will curse up a storm because, maybe because, they're angry because, when people do stupid stuff, they curse like crazy, and I don't blame them. When I see the stuff that they got to deal with at their job, I agree. I give them. I mean, even though I'm not the parent, I give them full permission to go off on them because they see more stupid than I do, and I'm with kids.
I was gonna say,
So they get a pass on that. They get a different pass on that. And sometimes I might even egg them on. I might say, like, I'm not gonna say, I might say, like, man, they're being stupid. You just let them go. You don't let them live being stupid. You're not gonna say anything to them, and then, of course, that gets them all riled up, and then they start going off on them.
oh, that's a good one.
It's very satisfying to see. Yeah, I love seeing when dumb people get called out because, I'm not trying to. I don't want to live in a world where you get to be dumb, with no penalties.
So
No, I
true.
mean we're currently living in it. There's a
Yeah,
bunch
I
of
know.
people where it's like that.
Yeah, no, we need to bring back bullying. Apparently, get them back in their safe zones because it is getting ridiculous. There are a few good people who are both smart and also, well, good people, but we got to band together and just take over
Bully
the
kids.
take over the world. Oh yeah, that too. We need to.
Oh lordy.
We need to do something.
I know. I was thinking that too as I was talking about that story. I was like, and to be clear, or like I was gonna say, like, it's not like I got my ass whooped or anything like that as a kid. I know everyone has different versions of spanking and all that, and whether it's right or wrong. Um, but to give context, like I was a little snot nosed kid. I was like sometimes I kind of deserved it. I was thinking back. I remember this one time I was so mad at my mom. I don't remember it was for if it was because I was going to summer school or what it was. And like my idea of getting revenge on her was like I was, screaming and yelling just out of control. And I remember I grabbed her 2-liter Pepsi because I know she loved Pepsi so much, and I just poured it all out. I was like, if you send me there, I'm gonna pour all your Pepsi out. Like, like just a fucking little shithead. Like sometimes you're just a little snot nosed brat. Yeah. You needed that bar of soap in the mouth or whatever the case was.
Yeah, I know. Like, when I think in the first person, like, yeah, I got the whole soap on the tongue treatment,
Yeah.
and honestly, I mean, I'm not gonna say that it helped because like like when it happened, I don't know what I did wrong. It was just like I got smacked and and that was it. So it's like. Now, if they had said, hey, you can't do that, then different story. I would have not done it again. But yeah, I just like, they assume I knew better, and I guess looking back at it, I must have known better because it happened twice or 3 times. So yeah,
I feel you.
so yeah, I am familiar with eating soap. That is dessert apparently.
Oh man.
But yeah,
Some people like soap.
Yeah, there's a gut out
I
there.
wash
What is it?
my hands like soap, my tongue not so much. So I think I'm okay with learning my lesson that way. And luckily, it wasn't even, it wasn't really a harsh punishment as people, as some people nowadays, they call spanking or the whole mouth and soap kind of thing torture. Even though, I mean,
Yeah.
those same people probably did the same thing. They probably got the butts whooped, and now they became adults. So I don't know. I guess to each your own.
I was gonna say there's a gum we sell at my work that's so popular with people, I guess like older generations, maybe like the 50s, like people in their 50s and 60s. It's a gum called Thrills, and it just tastes like soap. And we sell so much of that freaking gum week by week. It's ridiculous. Like it actually like tastes like just crappy like lavender soap or whatever. It's disgusting. I don't know why people love buying it.
Well, the biscuit that they give at the church tastes like cardboard, and it's still constantly being used. So, I mean,
That's true. um, as soon as I see you guys. Oh, give you like the final topic, and while you guys were thinking of what your answer might be, pizza. There was one last little bit that you missed out on, so I'll fire one at you. While everyone's thinking. But the topic I had was based on what we discovered today in the lounge. So for those of you that don't know, Duloc is a writer, and if I do my editing properly, I will have promoted his Amazon link for his book if you're interested in looking at it. But it got me thinking, because I don't think we've ever really had this question before. But from you guys, what's either like a book series that you really enjoyed that you highly recommend people read, or maybe it's just an author in general that you are pretty fond of and you think someone should, read one of their books? Give you guys like a chance to think about that one. But for pizza, my second question for you is just, did you have any consoles that you feel a company might do a good job making? So, for example, Sleepyhead shout out Riot Games. She think they would make a really neat console if they had the opportunity to. And then Duloc was saying he was kind of hoping for another version of like the old Game Boy or the DS, because he feels like portable handhelds are still something that needs to be explored more.
Oh, well, yeah. So for that second question, I think that um, as far as a gaming I guess a pub developer goes, I would probably want. I would probably want. Um, actually, I don't even know. I'm not sure what I would like to see, especially since that's a tough one. I guess. Oh, you know what? Maybe have Naughty Dog like create. I don't know. That's a tough one.
It is.
That is
It
a
is.
tough one. I don't know what kind of
create
console
something other
they would make.
than Last of Us.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
Their only launch title.
yeah, that's a tough. Yeah,
I mean, they're
exactly.
so
I don't.
good. It would be about time that they do something else.
Yeah, actually, I guess you know what, and if it was Naughty Dog, they could do the old Jack and Daxter games. Although I'm not sure what else they have, so maybe not them. I guess I guess maybe Square Enix. Granted, if they got their IPs back, like they have so many games in their library, like they could make. Like they could do all of these launch titles. They would have so many, and I think that it'll work out really well for them because Deus Ex, Tomb Raider, Final Fantasy, they have all these games to make, and yeah, they could easily make a console, and they could probably live for a good amount of time. So yeah, I say Square Enix. Um,
You mean Embracer? Because those titles are not owned by Square Enix anymore.
Oh yeah, yeah. And, so I was saying like if Square Enix, if they were to have the properties back, they could do that. Now I mean Embracer they could, but Embracer doesn't know what they're doing because Embracer they buy up all
Yeah.
these titles and they're all just kind of sitting there. They bought made sense. Like, where's the game that you guys were? I guess maybe not. It's like, come on, you bought the developers, you bought the IP, you're gonna have to use it. Because I mean, why would you do all that work just to say, we're good on all that. So yeah, yeah, I would say if Square Enix had their IPs back, they would be a good, well, the good Square Enix, of course, not the greedy one, not the corporate, the developer side of Square Enix. They could definitely make a console that's worth buying.
I almost feel like JW really hit it well what he said earlier, right? Like you almost kind of need a brand new player to enter the field if it was going to be a new console coming out. Someone with like fresh ideas, right? Just to put some life back into it. Because we were talking about like how like the Steam Deck, right? Like that was kind of unique and that kind of that set the bar. I was also thinking like VR too. VR was kind of different, right, when it came out. Just something, I don't know, something different.
Definitely, yeah. Because I mean, I think the issue now with consoles is that it's become about where the games are, not where all the features are.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know for a fact that like I prefer, like I can point out like this. I prefer the PS3 for the reason that they weren't charging for multiplayer. That was a cool thing. Although actually, never started
Oh
that.
yeah.
Looking back at it, I could say that now. Back when I had the PS3, I didn't care for it. But there were some things that I enjoyed about the PS3. The UI, it felt really intuitive. Everything felt smooth. The system was just, system was sleek. It ran perfectly fine compared to the Xbox having the red ring. So, that was also a plus. And of course, with the Xbox, you can mention how they had a really organized, or like just something that it felt like a professional UI. Like they had this whole system geared towards your avatar, and like just things like that make the console itself worth buying. But
Yeah.
nowadays it's about the game nowadays, because the PS5 UI is nothing like amazing, and with the Xbox UI, it's nothing amazing. It's just like they're functional, but they're not really getting my attention.
Yeah, I know Jimmy and I were talking about the other day, like, that first transition from the PS2 to the OG Xbox going to the Xbox 360 and the PS3, right? And having like menus and stuff to flip through. And then, like you said, like having like an avatar to like design and stuff like that. I know it's like minor, right? But it was really neat. Like it was kind of like a real step forward in consoles, and what to expect on that dashboard. I liked it, at least. I thought it was pretty cool.
So it's just like nowadays, at least for me, like when I was bored playing games on my PS3, like I just like to browse the UI and like just check out things. It's like
Yeah.
when it felt really good to do. Plus even on the 360, like if I was bored, I would go to the avatar shop and just play my avatar, just look at the people on there. It might, even though it's on the Xbox now, it doesn't have that same appeal as it used to before. Now it's just like it's just like, oh, I'm just over here and that's it. And even then though, you have to know where to go to find that avatar thing, because you won't see it on the main menu. Like you have to go and search for the avatar thing. And that's like why hide all that good stuff?
And they made it like it made it fun to have and put the effort into it, right? Like I'm not sure PS3 if there was games, but I know on the Wii and on the Xbox 360 there
Oh yeah, PS3 it was filled with games.
was okay, yes, yeah, where you could like utilize that avatar and kind of show it off, right? Like it made it, I don't know, it made it worthwhile to put effort into whatever you were making for your avatar.
Yeah. Now, yeah, but yeah. It's like I know that for a fact that the Wii was always entertaining. Like it didn't matter what game you had or which one on the console. Like Nintendo, Nintendo did a really good job with the Wii.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I kept it longer than I kept my. Well, I mean, I started the PS3 for sure, but like I played the Wii way more than my PS3 because like there was just stuff to do, and yeah, it utilized the avatars. So like when I, like if I was bored, I would just play Wii Sports,
Yep.
or Wii Play, and watch my avatar do stuff, and it was always fun to do because it wasn't just I mean, yeah, you had just watching avatar do things, but also like, the games were also they were just it was fun to like it was fun to just goof out and play bowling and like actually do the movements. So
So
yeah,
true. Yeah.
the Wii did a good job of just the console itself was it was worth the money alone for the console itself.
Yeah.
The games were just an added bonus, and I think what PlayStation, Xbox should start doing. Like sell us the console. Don't sell us the console for the games because I can guarantee you, when it comes to PC, I'm gonna play it on there because I got a Steam Deck, and if I'm playing games on the go, I'm not gonna buy that PlayStation handheld that they just made because I can't use it anyways. I can't use it until I buy a PS5, which I'm not about to spend 500 plus 200. No, thank you.
Yep.
And Xbox doesn't have anything at all, so it's like the Steam Deck is really just my gaming on the go now. So once they release Spider-Man 2 on PC, like I'm gonna go there and buy it for the Steam Deck. And I don't know if PlayStation and Xbox realize that when you don't have something that is worth the price alone, well, like if you don't have anything that is worth the price, yeah, I guess the price alone, without the games, then it's like there's no real fun in it. It's just a console, and if you buy the console and have no games, then you wasted money.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Pizza. Well, JW, I'm curious, buddy, what your answer was going to be. But did you get a chance to think of a book or an author that you think we should all take a gander at?
Well, it's hard to say because there's so many. But in terms of recent time, there hasn't been a better science fiction series that I've really liked as much as The Expanse,
Oh, okay.
which is a series. It's also a TV show, but it's the TV show is not complete compared to the books, and basically it's it's hard sci-fi, right? So it means it's science fiction with that works with the laws of science. It's not like a fantasy with a sci-fi setting, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you.
And so it's in a future where we've colonized most of the solar system, and now there's multiple factions. So there's the people of Earth, there's the people that have set up a colony on Mars,
Ooh.
and there are the Belters, where they've spent most of their life in space and use it in the belts of the asteroid belts in our system.
That sounds really
And
cool.
these three factions, of course, have differences between the two. Mars is very militaristic, while Earth is a bit full of themselves because they're the cradle of humanity. So they think very highly of themselves, and the Belters feel like they've been used because without the Belters, we never could have populated the whole system with their help in building stations inside of asteroids and other planets and stuff like that. So anyway, so that's basically the backdrop of the universe, and the story is actually this crew that is supposed to go searching for ice. They haul ice, they bring ice to other places, so they have water and all that. Receive a distress signal in space, and they're using the same laws as on the sea. So when there's a distress signal, you're obligated to check out what it is. You cannot ignore it.
Oh, okay.
So they go check it out, and as they do, they go check it out in this small shuttle, and as they do, their main ship gets completely blown up by this invisible ship with, new technology that nobody has seen. And while they're aboard that ship that they've investigated, there's this weird stuff on it. They don't know what to make of it. So anyway, they escape before they can get shot down by this super developed ship, and then they have to report to someone what they've seen, and then they try to investigate what happened. So of course now every faction is blaming the other faction. Oh, it must be Earth for whatever reason. Oh, it must be Mars because they are the most developed technologically speaking. So everybody's blaming everybody, and they try to discover what happens. And so that's really just the beginning of the first book. It goes in all sorts of places much further along. Like all these questions are inserted in the first book, and then there's much more.
That sounds really good, actually. I like that.
Oh yeah, no, it's awesome. Like I say, like it's the best sci-fi thing I've seen in quite a long time.
And like, this is a new series, JW, that they started writing, or it's been out for a little bit now?
It's been out for a little bit. There's like 9 books, I think.
Wow.
And
Okay.
the TV series has like 6 seasons. That first started on the Sci-Fi Channel, but then got picked up by Amazon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's
And it's super worth it. Like they've really thought of their universe and how it would work and all that. So it makes it super believable and very nice.
yeah. So I don't know for you guys. I feel like
But
that's the thing for me. Like, I need that kind of book, right? That's just gonna draw me in. Like, yeah, that's the kind of story that it feels like I could get into at least.
I would recommend it because the first book really feels like a movie when you read it. It's super easy to follow. So I would recommend it. Plus, I have to say, the Express probably influenced me in how I've written my stuff in terms of following a team, because you're following a team of people and not just a main character.
Oh, okay.
So the way it's written is that every chapter you sort of follow one teammate of the team, and it changes every chapter. So like that, you get to see the whole team and explore each of them, and it's very well done.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of writing it. How about you, Pizza? Did you have a book or an author that you think we should check out?
I'm trying. So for me, most of my books that I read are. So let me see. The last book I read was about self-help. So I'm sure you guys know about him. Maybe Robert Kiyosaki. He's the one who made the book Rich Dad Poor Dad and Unfair Advantage. So like I read a lot about. Most of my literature is mainly just about financial literacy, money help, maybe self-help motivation. So those are my kind of thing. But yeah, I recommend him though, because he does a good job at making all of his stories relatable, and also, of course, giving advice and really giving good tips on how to kind of live your life in a way that is going to benefit you down the road. So, I would definitely recommend him for just books in general. But again, though, if you are looking to look at things about making your life better, then he's a good author. But yeah, I kind of stopped really reading science fiction, romance, action books just because while they're good and all, yeah, it's I guess I kind of just fell out of love with it, to be honest.
No, it's totally fair. And
How
But
so?
yeah,
I think self-help is a good, area to focus on too in reading. There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So yeah, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad is a good. I mean, like that's a book that I have read probably 5 times already, just because of you know I look at that book as a guide on what I should be doing, because all his stories are stories that I have gone through in some sort of way. So, I look at how they address a problem, how they made a solution, how they kept that solution going. And so, anytime I do something new, I kind of go through the book, see what they did. I kind of take that and I do it on my own kind of spin. And if it works out, awesome. If it doesn't work out, I go back to the same pages and I look at what they did to kind of, fix the issue. And that's kind of that's how I've been living my life for the past few years. And honestly, you know, I have seen a big change, a big positive change.
That's awesome, buddy. I'm glad that worked out for you. I'm glad you took benefits. I'm really sorry, JW. I think you were trying to say something earlier.
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you.
What was I saying?
No. When Pizza was talking there, sorry. I thought you were about to say something and I cut you off. I was gonna.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. I mean, I thought I cut you off too. If I did, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. I know I heard something while I was talking. I was like, oh, like I'm trying to say something. So, I kind of took a break a little bit, just kind of, let you get in there.
No. One way or the other is probably better because I wouldn't want to spoil the expense.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah, definitely. Yeah, like that. I mean, the book, The Expense, it almost sounded like a game. Yeah, I'm sure you played the Red Faction. It almost sounded like Red Faction in the beginning.
Oh yeah, Red
That's
Faction is
true.
great, but
Yeah.
no, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I would love to see. I would love to see a book about Red. I mean, I'm sure there is one about going to Mars, and
Oh yeah.
you're kind of you're saying F to the man, and you're destroying property. I'm sure there's a book about that because, you can't have sci-fi without having one of those revolutionary, I'm tired of being pushed around kind of books. Not that they're bad. It's just that, if you're going to have a book about going to Mars, you got to have one about, fighting your fellow man.
I was trying to think. I might be way off, but I'm like, wasn't Total Recall kind of like that, like going to Mars, like the old school one?
Oh yeah, it was on. Well, it was on
Yep.
Mars.
Was it okay? Okay. I'm like, I'm trying to picture that. I was like, what if there's a Total Recall book? Probably is.
It might have been based on a book, but I don't think so because it's Paul Verhoeven that did it, and he never does stuff that is based on the book.
Oh, okay.
He's the guy
Yeah,
that
yeah.
made RoboCop, and
Oh yeah.
and what is it called? Starship Trooper.
Oh, he made Starship Trooper too. Wow.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know that in the iRobot book, the original, like the actual book, they just talk a little bit. I mean, they don't really talk too much about like this whole humans fighting robots, but they do talk about how the robots have came to adapt and become more humanoid. The movie kind of ran with it a bit more, but yeah, I just happen to notice that if you're gonna have a sci-fi anything, you gotta have one of those, those movies where either the aliens or the robots they become the new masters and the humans are oppressed and blah blah blah. Kind of just that thing.
Oh, totally.
Well, there's no robots in The Expanse though.
No, yeah, definitely, yeah. Sorry, like just in general though, like in a general kind of thing, like almost every. Well, I guess yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. So in most of the sci-fi movies, there is some sort of conflict that derives from kind of just that whole
Yeah, it's like a common element.
humans are humans are fighting something. Like there, I don't think I'm sure. I am sure there's a sci-fi movie where it's just about discovery and that's it. Everybody gets to go home happy. You find new life. You don't mess with it. You don't play around with it. You don't attack it. You just say that's awesome, and you go home.
That would probably be Star Trek,
Yeah.
where it's it's quite a positive show of the future. Not much of them anymore.
Yeah, which is a shame because Star Trek. I mean, Star Trek was pretty. I like Star Trek. I like it just
Me
for the
too.
fact that
Yeah.
yeah, most of the most of the episodes were just about you looking at new life, and if there were conflicts, it wasn't like it wasn't that cliche. Well, humans are now the oppressed, or humans are weaker. It's just like if they have to fight someone, it was everything felt a lot more like organic.
Yeah.
Nothing was, like there weren't many. It didn't feel too tropey in a sense. So I enjoyed it for that. But yeah, every other show though, it just became we gotta fight because human versus alien or human versus robot. We can't be in peace.
Yeah, you're right. It happens a lot where it becomes super uncreative.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's all because of Asimov. He's the grandfather of science fiction and robots and all that. I think he's the one even who wrote I, Robot, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken.
Oh wow.
oh, Simon. Yeah, I don't know his last name, but yeah, probably so. Simon Asimov or whatever.
Isaac Asimov.
Okay, there. Okay, yeah, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Eisen, that's Simon. But yeah, probably so. But I mean, like I don't mind when they do tropes, but it has to have, it has to at least have some kind of link where it becomes this thing. Like I don't know. I haven't seen The Expanse, so I can't talk on it. And I don't want to disrespect the officer. I don't want to say that. Oh well, how maybe they find some kind of crystal and then they break it and then next thing you know, all out war happens. I
Right.
could be, like I want to say that because I could be completely wrong, and now I'm not suspecting the author and the book, so I'm not about to go in, you know, step on toes.
Well, you have the right to have your opinion.
Oh yeah, I appreciate you saying that for sure. I'm sure that, and I'm sure that he would allow me to watch. I'm sure that his response would say, if you read the book, you might be surprised, and I would happily read the book because the last thing I want to do is be ignorant. Be guiltily ignorant, and then kind of just brush it off.
And then,
No, but
sorry, go ahead, JW.
I'm sorry. No, I've lost my train of thought. Never mind.
Oh, sorry, buddy.
No problem. No, I think I was just going to say, if you find something shitty, it's fine to say it. There's no reason to hold back.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
No, that's true. Yeah.
And well, now I know. So then that means that if I become Gordon Ramsay, I must say that JW told me to, don't hold back. Let him
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll say I definitely said that. It's way better, way more fun.
Well, you know what? You're not wrong because You know, I was just watching a couple of his shows, you know, the whole Kitchen Nightmares and the Hotel Hell, and it is, it is always satisfying watching Gordon Ramsay pretty much rip these guys a new one because they're either bad chefs or bad owners, and I definitely enjoy watching the drama ensue.
Yeah. I think I preferred his first show when he first started in Britain because
Was it Hell's Kitchen?
he really finds these decrepit restaurants, right? These horrible places. And when he started doing Kitchen Nightmare, I think in America, it felt more like a bully attacking people learning to cook than finding people that were just running a restaurant in a shitty way. I don't know
Yeah.
if it makes sense. I
No,
don't know
that
if it was
does.
Kitchen Nightmare or some other show where
No.
you just got a bunch of like young people and then ripped them a new one.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Oh yeah,
It was
actually, yeah,
Nightmare.
yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, and there was also another show as well where he did that. I don't know what it was called, but yeah, you know, like for example, you know, I like the famous meme where you know he put like a piece of bread between a girl's head,
Yeah,
and you know, he said, like he told the girl, say, you know, I'm an idiot sandwich, and it was like, okay, you know, it was funny to see it, but I think, you know, if I was that girl, yeah, I would be like devastated to have somebody just, you know, insult me that way.
Well, especially
So,
that now it's a meme.
yeah.
oh yeah, you know.
That's
Now, of
Hell's
course, I don't know her name, but you know,
Well, her life
even
is
then,
ruined, definitely.
yeah,
that's Hell's Kitchen Pizza.
yeah, I would hate her. So, yeah, you know, like you're right though. You know, in some cases, you know, he definitely seems to enjoy, you know, like having that kind of bully thing, you know, and like there are some times where you know, he will be absolutely on their, you know, he'll be on their side, he'll be supportive of them. But yeah, you know, oftentimes though, it is a lot of just, you know,
Well, I
calling
mean,
them
it makes
names and
money,
stuff.
so
It does, you know, it is entertainment. So, you know, and I guess in a sense, you know, like, you know, to be on a show, you know, you have to go and like, I guess, sign up for it. So I guess in a way, you know, I think that these people, they probably know about how Gordon is and they just do it willfully. So maybe that makes it a bit better, but I don't know. Because I think that, you know, maybe if, you know, I don't know. I think I'm going to just say that they sign up for it. And so whatever happens, happen. And I'm sure that, you know, at that time, people saw Gordon Ramsay, like, you know, like they saw him turn red in the face with anger. So they would have known what kind of guy he was.
maybe. I guess so.
Yeah, but I mean,
Or
again,
maybe
though, you
they
know,
thought I will be the one to show how great I am or something.
Yeah.
They wanted kisses from Gordon Ramsay. Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know,
Well, it's like
yeah,
no.
right. I wouldn't do it. I don't care how much you pay me. I don't care what the fame is. I think I have enough. I have enough self-respect, or at least, you know, I'm probably scared to not go in front of his face and get yelled at and called, you know, an idiot sandwich. Because no, I'm good. I think, you know, watching after somebody is always going to be funny, but when it comes to me, I'm good, man. I'm good.
I mean, that was the whole point of those shows, right? You wanted to see how Gordon Ramsay was going to react, and you know that was like the highlight of it. Almost like what's that other one, American Talent or whatever, where Simon always like beats somebody down. You know,
Oh,
it's just that persona,
Yeah,
right? People like
X Factor.
X Factor. Thank you. Yeah, it's just that
yeah,
persona,
and
right?
you know, I mean,
People
and like, you know,
like
I think that was, you know, America's Got Talent. You know, in some episodes, I do feel for the actors because you know I think that maybe you know to them all they know is those few things, and then of course you know yeah you know you got Simon coming in, you know, and he's just ripping you a new one, and it's like
yeah.
sorry man, that was kind of rough. That was
But
kind of rough.
I hate those competition shows. They're never chosen because of their skills, but more because of how people find it cute.
Yeah,
So let's say you have like the best ever, but you have a kid singing opera, then it's this kid singing opera that will win.
yeah, that's very true.
And plus, I agree though, and I feel as though if you were somebody who was talented, why would you even go to a TV show when you probably have gigs and deals, like already, like set up for you, like if you're a talented singer and somebody, well, if anything, I'm sure that somebody already picked up on them before Simon could, so. I think that, if you're really talented, you don't need America's Got Talent. You already have your own fan club at that point. So I
Sure,
guess, yeah.
but here's the thing, though. Most artists have are not confident in themselves or their work.
Yeah, that's true.
So that validates it a bit if you want.
Yeah,
So yeah, so they're going to Simon to get they're going to Simon to get a proper stretching, as they call it. So, but you know what though, I can't say that it doesn't help out in the long run because even if it all crashes down, you could just say, hey, I was on America's Got Talent, and I got to feel Simon's spit hit my face. So that counts for something. And there are some people, like I was on one of these restaurants, a baking company, like they use Gordon Ramsay, they use the show as a look at us, look how cool we are. We got to see Gordon Ramsay, even though they got completely blasted and completely humiliated. And, it was free marketing and it worked.
yeah.
People came to the restaurant just to check it out. So, I guess there is no shame nowadays. Even way back in 2013, there was no shame.
And how about you, Sleepy? What kind of book did you want to shout out or author?
I don't have a specific author or anything, but I kind of agree with pizza on with the self-help books, especially like if
Oh, okay.
you look at it from a psychological point, like the mental point. Because for me, I relate to a lot of the self-help books because someone who dealt with like low self-esteem and stuff like that, it definitely
Yeah,
helped boost my not only help me improve my self-esteem, but also help me improve with my how I view at things. 'Cause I used to view everything negative, like negative. It's hard to believe now just how I am, but it's because of the self-help books that I think the way how I think now. Um,
that's awesome.
it definitely for me, if you're feeling down or you're just feeling negative, I would say definitely grab a self-help book and just read and like find a chapter or whatever that resonates with you, and like if it connects, cool. If not, just read through the book to see what connects with you. To someone, I there's a lot of quotes from self-help books that I really like. That definitely helps boost in a positive way your mentality and stuff like that. How you look at things. But for me, it's more self-help and more psychological books for me. Um,
I'm not gonna lie, I honestly thought you were gonna show like some anime ones. With all the anime you watch, I was like, oh, I bet you'll have some really good mangas or something. But no, self help is an excellent choice.
I used to read a lot of mangas and stuff like that relates to anime, but I feel like and a lot I used to read a lot of sci-fi and But now
Oh, nice.
as I've been like getting older, I've been reading more of self-help. Listening instead of listening to music, I listen to like in the morning after I grab my coffee because coffee we need it. But I instead of listening to music, I actually listen to I listen more to motivation videos or find something like motivational like speeches like on Spotify and just like start my day off positive like that through that way. For me, I don't I don't read as much as I like to how I'm constantly busy.
Yeah.
But like definitely just hearing motivational and positive thinking and stuff like that definitely helped boost my mentality, and like it's just actually just a great way to start your day before you go to work.
That's
So
I know I've done that a few times too on those rougher days, but yeah, I agree with you. It's a different mindset it puts you into. That's for damn sure.
but yeah.
Yeah, those are great choices. Yeah, so
Actually, we were talking about authors. Alan Moore, I think, is one of the greatest writer that I've seen. He's written V for Vendetta and
wow.
Watchmen and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and a bunch of.
Holy
They're all
shit,
comics when
yeah.
I'm naming, but
No, they're good though, yeah.
they are. I don't know, but they are stuff where the movie does not do them justice. Like the comics really change the way it just amazing, just so good. Like you won't want to read anything else afterwards. Like Watchmen, I reread it every couple of months, couple of years, I don't know, because it's so good, and it's more than just a dark superhero stuff in the comics. It's super well done, and I would definitely recommend if none of you have read any of these things. Like you don't need to like superheroes to appreciate this because it's more than just normal superhero stuff. It's more about what happens when you live in a world where you have people with too much power. Like how does it affect each of them individually, and there's a whole plot as well that is super interesting that starts with the murder of one of the old timers hero, the comedian, which was a controversial character for a lot of people. So it's super interesting and explores a lot of stuff. That's awesome as well.
Yeah, I definitely have to get my hands on it because you're not the first person to say that the Watchmen comic books are phenomenal, or the book series, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, because it explores a lot of stuff. It's existential stuff. It's political stuff. It's religion. It's everything. And it's not about superheroes beating up the villain, or that it's a dark superhero thing. I mean, it is dark, but it's more. I don't know how to explain it. It's like
Yeah,
it's
explores
just
more than just
well, it's much more like a character exploration, and like I said, what happens when you have so many people with power. And when I say power, I don't just mean superheroes. They explore as well, psychologist, his power over people, or Nixon, because it's in a world where Nixon has been elected a third time. So what happens when someone is there for too long, and just all sorts of different situations, not just superheroes. So that is definitely a must if it's never been read before. Because the movie were good, but it's like a very
Yeah,
diluted version of the book.
yeah.
So
No, the movie did feel like stuff was missing from it. Like it was good, like you said, it was good, but yeah,
yeah,
you're right. It could have gone more into it, and that's incredible. I didn't realize he also did League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Wow, yeah,
yeah. Well, like the movie is different than the comics, but
yeah.
it's an awesome thing.
Still though, yeah. I mean, that's
V for Vendetta as well.
yeah, that one too. Yeah, what a powerhouse! Holy, that's a good shout. Okay, yeah, I'll definitely have to check those out. Then I definitely want to read Watchmen, though. I know people always say that's definitely something you should at least read once.
Yeah, at least once in your life, whether it's your thing or not,
Yeah.
it should be tried out.
Thanks, JW. I'll have to check that out. And for the other book earlier too. That one sounded really interesting. Yeah, I've kept you guys for quite a while. I'm sorry, I just noticed the time length on this one again. But yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate and chatting with me, and I'm glad the new subject wasn't too like weird, and we were able to have like a nice little light conversation with it. Like I said, if you guys enjoy it, and or if you have other ideas, like pizza, you had a great one too that you suggested. Um, I'm always down to expand upon that and look at other things too. Yeah. Thanks for taking part in this, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, it was fun. Anyway, I liked it.
Me too.
It's always fun to kind of just hop in and just kind of just chit chat.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. Well, hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch you all next time then.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
And for the rest of you guys, it's funny. I have to laugh a little bit at myself. So I know I always make the goodbye so awkward. I'm not trying to. I don't know what I do sometimes. Yeah. I'm just, I'm honestly grateful that they hop on week after week with me and do this, and they're always down to try out any newer, different idea. Just honestly fantastic human beings, and for you guys too for literally watching this, whether it's 30 minutes, hour, or the whole darn 3 hours that it takes place. It's all deeply appreciated. Just trying to think quickly. Final thoughts. I will have last week's podcast done this week for editing. I have to focus on the chicken video, and then after that, it'll probably be a fast-paced one for this one as well. I do apologize, but I promise after that we'll get more into the gifs, the memes, and stuff like that I usually add on to my edits. But some of them have to be a little fast-paced right now because I gotta stay on top of things because I got the award show video as well to work on next month, so I don't want to fall too far behind. But I hope you guys have a beautiful evening. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will catch you all next time. Bye.